helps if I have chat in front of me. I'll say hi and stuff. Boo, you suck. You know, that happens.
Need to get into roll 20, I guess.
I might be advisable. Hi there.
Did I not?
Say hi there.
I could swear I did, but I might not have for some reason. What?
What'd you do?
I'm like, did I not roll for... I didn't. Oh, I'll do that quickly. No, that's right, because I had to quickly run off at the end of the last one.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Over the hills and far away.
No, don't get me started.
What? It's a good song.
It is, yes. Hey, sad face. Ban this person. Time them out.
Here I am trying to help your viewer count. And I didn't even say anything about the secret word last week, even though I saw it.
Well, that's like 6 seconds. Oh, never mind. Oh, that's gonna take a while.
Okay, there we go. I didn't go down in a rep. That was the main thing to check, was because I had a fail.
I said hi there. I said hi there. Oh, I should probably say it there as well. That would be important. Yes. And oh, wait. Go. I just realized I pointed the camera at me when I don't do camera in these things, but anyway. Hello everyone, I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and we're doing an episode of Halanak Station, a Star Trek Adventures tale. And today's episode takes place on Stardate 60564.7, about a week since the shutdown of Halanak Station, and the basically, Starfleet was put on some level of hold, at least the station personnel were, because its admiralty was compromised. So that left the ship of the Da Vinci to be staying fairly close to station and cooperating with the local harmonizers and Stellar Fleet to keep things under control, while the Wilson R. Abbott came to bring in new staff and to take custody of the suspects and ship them off to Narita Station and elsewhere into the Federation, as well as some members of the Free Information Sphere legal apparatus, because these people also, by their dereliction or diversion of Halanak Station's resources, did affect how their station worked. So the FAS has a vested interest in their persecution. So that's left a rather interesting problem for people. But
Prosecution. We have an interest in their prosecution, not their persecution.
why not both? This is a 2-threat game. And
60 seconds.
From a certain point of view, what is prosecution but persecution?
From an anarchist point of view, I guess.
Well, sure.
Watch
I was
yourself,
thinking more
Pippi.
along the lines of I didn't do it and this is a false accusation, but that works too, I suppose.
Everything's a false accusation if no one has the legal authority to accuse you.
Yeah, can we check if there are gold fringes on the Federation flag to see if this counts as an official court or not?
All Federation Starfleet courts are Admiralty courts.
yes, a bit of good news that we learned. Actually, did I not? Oh, I have the right rank for Commander Haifa. But also, that's not the new promotion. The newest one that's gone through the system is the Lieutenant Captain of Stars is now recognized by the Free Information Sphere and the Stellar Fleet as Captain of Stars.
Oh, great. More banners.
No, it just means, on whatever decorative item I have, there's like an extra chevron or something. It's not that big a deal, although it was cause for a party to be held after that point, and when everyone was safe, and it has aided my how would you say, interest in influencing the civilian government. Well, that sounds a little bit too evil. My interest as a concerned voter and expert in the field in a problem with our state's current setup. That sounds more evil. It's helped me in my cause to militarize our nation.
Right up until Kovic introduced you to the concept of Christmas lights, and then everything else fell to the wayside.
So at this point, the Da Vinci A is back under normal duties. Captain Thralic is the interim. It is basically tasked with the Wilson R. Abbott to do some help with some further investigations that are still ongoing. So there's a lot of they're kind of bouncing back and forth. So for now, the Da Vinci's left to the care of Centurion Ryloff. And of course, Captain of Stars Serana is the XO of the Halanak station, so is left to its command and maintenance. And you will be duly informed by your representatives about the ongoing case, because I will say to Serana's sake and Ryloff's sake, you would be made aware as command officers within his chain of command of sorts that Rear Admiral Pend is under medical review. It is believed he did not willfully act or aid this false Jaishu. However, it is believed that he is medically compromised, so he's out of action for the time being, and they're trying to see when they can get him back on his feet again. But whether he gets cycled out or not, you'll be informed. If he's back on duty, you'll be informed. So the Admiralty staff is present, but they're kind of here. They're kind of keeping things status quo for the most part, and staying out of Halanak Station's way and Da Vinci's way, because the Admiralty staff's presence is not strictly necessary for your mission, because it wasn't necessary before. It was something that got added on once Penn put it in for his promotion and got it. So I asked over the last week, what did Commander Haifa do when he wasn't being interviewed and talked to by Starfleet Intelligence and Security?
Try to get this shuttle done.
Where is that? Oh, yes,
It's
you
in the
just
pins.
finished
You gotta
these.
roll down a little bit.
Settled with the sensors and computers. So you're working with EPS systems or the QSD RCS?
EPS.
Okay. Difficulty 1, Mag 3, Work 10. And I'll give you 3 cracks at the can at this, because you've had a week to work on it.
If I do it in 2, can I pile that into the QSD, or should I just...
You can pile
the
into the QSD if you have time
Okay.
for it, yeah.
I was about to say, because I think the EPS will probably be done in 2 rolls. What's the attribute discipline?
I would say this initial part, reason engineering. You're working with known systems.
All right, EPS power systems is a focus.
I don't know. I think that applies. It's a long
Project-
reach, though.
Project manager is a trait.
Yep. Dip 0.
Take a threat.
Or generated. Give me 7 challenge dice, please. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And I'll give you 3 of those generated to finish the work track.
2, 3. This open? Doesn't need to be. Alt tabbing to everywhere but where I want to go. So you break the work track. You did at least 5, so 2 magnitude is done. As you are largely, you're just working. You're just doing the bits that would integrate an EPS system for a shuttle, with the understanding of getting it to work with an alien system. But the good thing about Federation technology, it is fairly flexible. It is designed to be somewhat adaptable to various technologies due to the
and it has to be designed to suffer critical failure in the attempt that weapons are used from it. Like this EPS system explicitly can't be compatible with phasers or disruptors.
So more interviews go by, more briefings, more maintaining the station, helping out with Da Vinci A, and then you find yourself with yet more time to work on your personal project.
I'll spend that momentum. Same reason engineering, or now is this control engineering?
Control engineering, this the actual installation and assembly and such. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the difficulty dropped to 0, because you had at least 1 magnitude achieved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You definitely are able to get the EPS system figured out for your QSD prototype shuttle.
All right, and I will start working on the last component.
So the QSD RCS system. This initial bit, I will say, will be insight engineering, as you're trying to find a way to marry the QSD system with the RCS systems that you're used to. So you're kind of getting these. This is probably the most complex part of the entire design.
All right, a focus in quantum slipstream drive.
Yep.
And a trait of project manager.
Yep.
And a momentum.
A little complicated.
Yeah. Well, I brought the diff down to 2. And that's 3, so I'll spend 1 off the table and 1 from the roll to quash.
Give me your challenge dice, please. As somebody's talking crap about me in chat again. Making me feel bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll spend 3 and give you 3 off. I'll spend 3 green, give 3 red to finish the work.
And in the last bit of free time that you have as the week drones on, you are able to get a quick read up on Starfleet understanding of QSD systems, and also now with the access of how the Free Information Sphere understands quantum slipstream drive systems. Now you have a pretty good idea of how they both work. And now it's just a matter of trying to get that. You already know how RCS systems work in a shuttle. Now it's just getting this QSD system to work with the RCS system in a way that won't fight itself. Or destabilize itself, for that matter.
We're not too far from being done.
So Commander Haifa makes himself a very busy hologram. During the week, what was Harmonizer Kovac up to?
Are my holding cells empty finally?
Yes, everyone's been everyone's processed and are either in elsewhere within the FIS legal apparatus or in the Federation legal apparatus or diplomatic apparatus because of certain, especially for certain Orion Syndicate members and Romulan citizens. It's like, yeah, this became a very complex problem that is no longer your problem.
Hey, that's awesome. So I will be collecting my various badges and harmonizer IDs from my now undeputized Romulan cohorts.
Yes.
And probably playing a lot of Cleanza with Core at Core's Coffee because he smokes cigars, so we get along. I like cigars and gach.
Give me insight and command or con, difficulty 2, to see if your merriment and if you're able to gain something beyond good company in your card games.
Intuitive for a trait?
I would say so.
Okay. Command. I'll go ahead and take a threat. Let's see what we got. Observation?
Yeah. Gain 1. You are able to learn in the conversations that happens. A lot of conversations over a good game is light and fluffy stuff, you know. There's some serious stuff like personal stuff that gets into it, but largely people are here to kill time. They're here to relax. But, you know, real stuff sometimes gets talked about, and as a harmonizer, you seem to be the sort that picks up on things. One thing you pick up on is there seems to be some low-level buzz and worry about increased traffic out beyond the frontier of the FIS. That supposedly there are people taking runs and shipments that specifically are circumventing FIS space. To what end, people don't know, but hey, people here, they want to make a little extra latinum, an extra dressic or 2, or 10. That can happen. But, you know, people laugh it off, like, that's not real. That probably would have been shut down. I mean, you know, harmonizers on the case, har, you know, people go on.
So the rumor is that basically smugglers are moving stuff without coming through Halanak.
Yep.
Like into FIS space, or are they just trying to avoid FIS space altogether?
They seem to be avoiding FIS space and seem to know exactly how far the FIS is sphere of influence is, like how far they actually look beyond their borders. Because in space, interstellar societies don't stop necessarily at their claim territory. They do scan a little bit further away just to look for people. And as the FAS is friendly with the Federation, if you're not in good graces of the UFP, well, the FAS might point you out to them. And suddenly a Starfleet vessel might start chasing you down suddenly. Or a Klingon vessel, worse yet.
Fair. Okay, that's interesting. File that away to talk to Sarian about later.
You would, during that week, be informed by Sapentia that it is her belief that the people who are after her have the people that have been detained by Starfleet are the people who were trying to go after her. So she does believe that she doesn't think she's in danger anymore. But if you wanted her to leave, I believe you hinted that you'd like her to not hang around too much because of the trouble she brings.
Yes, that was kind of hinted at.
Yeah, she'll take her little shuttle and just put in.
I mean, she's welcome, just maybe not when she's carrying something that will draw quite so much attention. I don't have anything against her personally, but
she would say to that that there's always something to the effect of that there's always something in her possession that draws attention. It just changes based on what she's working on.
Well, just I don't know. Learn to be more circumspect.
Look,
all I really care about is don't bring trouble to my station.
And she assures you she will certainly try not to. As she, with your permission, she will sally forth to the stars to another job. Or in search of another job.
I wish her luck.
And away she goes. Captain of Stars Seirana, what have you been up to the last week, other than being part of the FIS side of this investigation?
Hi. What I would like to do is I would like to finally put actions behind my words. I want to start reaching out to people across the political aisle. I want, and actually, before I do that, I want to draft an open letter to the FIS. What do we call our parliament again? I have the name somewhere.
Parliament, I think.
Yeah,
is it just called our parliament?
Yep,
okay.
The FIS parliament.
I would like to draft an open letter to the parliament signed by myself and any other political figures or military figures or government officials I can to recognize the lack of security the FIS has over its own borders and how that poses a threat to our continued existence as a state, and how if we want to protect our democratic union, we have to be doing more to we have to improve our military capabilities to defend our freedom. And I want to get as many people as I can to sign on to this as step one of, in my view, improving the FIS.
Give me, I'll treat this as an extended test because you'll probably do a variety test toward your objective, rather.
You wrote something for this a long time ago. The first time we brought it up, I don't know if we ever pinned it.
Oh, there it is. Convince FIS Parliament to build up the FIDF.
Work 25, magnitude 5, resist 4, diff 5. Resist 4 means my bonus is brought down by 5, right?
When you roll your challenge dice for damage, it's reduced by 4.
Okay, that's...
Or for work, I should say more accurately. This initial step sounds like Presence Command to me.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Okay.
And likewise with Haifa, you'll get 3 cracks with the can, because you have a whole week to be doing things.
Okay. Okay. Step 1. I have the trait of prestigious in the FIS that my escapades and actions have earned me some name and repute that I can rest on my laurels a bit. Can I argue for that to lower the difficulty?
Difficulty or resistance, up to you.
Ooh, I'll drop resistance by 1. political operative. I've become skilled at greasing palms and giving the right gifts and talking to the right people in order to advance this.
Yeah.
All right.
Resistance or difficulty.
I'll drop the resistance to 2.
So not only militarization, but corruption too.
Well, look.
You said grease the right palms.
Look, you don't get anything done without a little bit. You know, you got to get into the pig pen in order to make some bacon. I don't know. I just made that up. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. Nope.
You're doing some Iosian electioneering. Good for you.
Iosian electioneering is just like, doing a drive-by shooting of the enemy until
No.
Oh.
Not anymore. It's not. It's actually their like cutthroat democracy, or they were by the end of the 5-year mission.
Less 20s, more 50s, 60s.
Yeah, except that they had elections like every 6 weeks or something.
Okay. And I think I have multiple focuses to go here, but the one I would like to use here is Shackleton Affairs, because my argument I want to explicitly be about the nature of the Shackleton as it stands and why the FIS is not prepared to defend itself.
I believe that applies here.
They can't handle the truth.
You
Okay.
militarist. I mean, sorry, what?
I mean, look.
You just believe in constitutional order. It's okay.
Embrace that label. Okay. I would like to spend my determination on the value the FIS must forge its own path. This is all about helping the FIS stand on its own 2 feet and forge its own path more.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's 2 free hits. Why don't you take 5, Fred?
Certainly.
Wow, she's serious.
Grease all the palms. Well, pseudopods, but
Yeah, right.
Appendages.
Greasy pseudopods.
I guess every time I give a handshake, I'm greasing the palm with the slime.
No, you have an exoskeleton.
Okay.
You hit it. You got a total of 7 by my count, which is 2 more than you needed. You gain 2 momentum.
7. Yep.
Give me 6 challenge dice, please.
It's 2 plus your discipline, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay, I will spend 1 momentum to re-roll those 3 zeros. Okay.
Or
I have
5.
2 momentum left.
Say again, sorry.
I have 2 momentum left.
Yes.
And that is 1, 3, 4, 5 minus 2, so that's 3 successes.
3 work, correct?
3 work. Okay. So if I gave you 1 for piercing, that would become a breakthrough.
It would, yes.
All right, then I will do that.
So yeah, you are able to achieve this first stage of finding the people who would be willing to sign their names onto it as well, from within the Stellar Fleet and its sister services of the FIDF, because the FIDF are made of 3 separate fleets for each of the members. So you're getting various members to sign on it, and you're also able to get some people from the in theory parliament to not in theory parliament, because I mean that caucus of parliament that is up from
the
in theory.
Delegation from in theory.
Yeah. So there's certain Etherians who 100% agree with this idea. No, we thought we should have been a military alliance to begin with. That's what we wanted to do, but we were outvoted.
Yeah, I've got a guy who completely coincidentally represents a district with a large shipyard in it, who's totally on board with this plan and is like, the most diehard supporter.
There are certain Ferengi of the Aurelis consortium that would like to sign on to this sort of thing because they believe it would economically improve the fortunes of the area.
Well,
Look, it's Keynesian economics. The government spends money in order to boost the economy. It's just that sometimes the money we spend goes to battle cruisers.
specifically of the upgraded D7 variety.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some Gita can get you a deal on a variety of vessels perfectly suited to your needs.
And I'll peel back some of that work as you face. People are starting to hear about you asking around, so now you get the sense there is a building opposition to your plan.
Yeah, there's there's an op-ed in the press because fellow journalists, they're
In
always
Upintar
lying.
today.
Yeah, spearing my actions is like military overreach into politics. What do they know?
Are we not a free information sphere and not a conquest sphere?
I am just a private citizen who happens to be an expert in my field, voicing my concerns with our current political direction. I'm just a simple nationalist who doesn't want my country to fall apart. So I get 2 more swings at this?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I want to ask you, before the session begins, in terms of like plot, or not, in terms of plot, I'm like the acting CO, but in terms of like gameplay ability, do I currently have the XO superpower or the CO superpower?
You have the CO superpower currently.
Okay, so I can direct people. Okay.
Yep.
So it's the same thing this time. Let me look at it again. Okay.
The big thing has changed. Difficulty dropped by 1.
Yep. The difficulty is 4, and I'm just thinking. I'll keep the -2 to resistance. So I only need to hit diff 4. I'll spend 1 threat, 2 momentum. I think the math should be on my favor here. Sure wasn't.
2 momentum.
Yeah, no, that's 3 successes, and I need 4.
No. You were giving me so much and spending so much momentum. There's only 1 momentum on the table.
Oh, I meant to say 1 momentum, 2 threat. I misspoke.
Okay.
Oh, that was. Did I hit the button? That was on accident. Sorry. Ignore that.
That first roll is short.
Yeah, it sure is.
You can succeed at cost if you need help greasing palms. The Realist Consortium would gladly help you with that part of it. You just have to owe them one.
I'll accept this loss. I'll accept. I spoke to some people who were not conducive enough, and I will give this one more shot.
Very good.
Okay, why don't you take? Okay, so I just remembered something that would have been useful a little while ago. I have the citation for conspicuous gallantry. Once per mission, when a character pays for an immediate momentum spend of any kind by adding to threat, they may roll 1 challenge dice per point of threat added. For each effect rolled, 1 of the points added to threat is removed immediately. So I would like to spend for 5 threat to roll a full mit, and then roll 5 challenge dice to try to get them back.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so you only get 3 threats. And off of that roll, if it's diff 4, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 2 momentum. Okay, here comes the challenge dice roll. 4, 5, 7,
Backhouse
8.
Gita has a variant of its latest
8
Burrell
minus 2 is
replacement
6.
that's
So that is
designed for off-world sale.
6. Get your second breather. How much momentum did you gain again? Sorry.
2. Okay, and that was me this week. I think I've made a lot of progress on this front, and I'm very close to starting up a program that will, ensure a safe society for everyone.
Although you can see that on the horizon, this will be This open letter will be the first step of a transformative process of shifting the free information sphere to, instead of a research cooperative, into a military alliance. As the bulk of funds are currently aimed at scientific enrichment and research, which the funds for a military have to come from somewhere.
I mean, what what's good at what is science good for if you're dead? Well, you're in like an astronomer's lab studying space. Well, what will that matter when Romulan battle cruisers will show up and kill you all and steal your science? We have to make this sacrifice, or we'll get no science done.
So says the future commandant of the New Order, Centurion Rylov. What are you
Seriously,
doing this week?
I really think you should reach out to House of Gita, because you have a lot of sentiments in common. What good is science if you're dead?
Assuming he's not overly needed for, or like, does he need to do a lot of investigating, or is he kind of like I have to step back and not touch things while other people do things?
He'll be pulled into for interviews and stuff because and also you have to do calls back to the Senate to report on the situation.
Yes.
So some of your time's eaten up by just administrative stuff. The one thing you're definitely afraid of is the Da Vinci going anywhere, because for the next week it really can't go very far, just because it's the only real Starfleet presence to help protect the system under the Halanak agreement until the new staff can be installed.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, I guess a chunk of the Da Vinci's staff is needed on the station
Yeah.
to fill some spots. So, yeah, okay. So then I know what he's going to try and do, and it's going to be try to at least get a starting point or get more information out of previous mission that we technically failed. Because I'm guessing the other ship, the fucking merchant ship,
The First
Light, will eventually show up at station.
Yeah, it would have appeared sometime during that week. Yeah.
So we've got that, whatever sensor logs it had that could potentially be gone through with a really fine-tooth comb, whatever sensor logs and data the Da Vinci itself has, and some communications with, or back to the state, to see if they have anything they would like to say or admit before, to try and find out what kind of what faction intelligence operation was in that system.
Which
now we know what we're looking for. We can look for specific things, maybe in the sensor logs, or
you have 3 task roles on your table. What do you want to spend your first one on?
First one, try and see if we can isolate a particular identifying energy source or signal or pattern from the sensor data to determine if it's a Klingon or a Romulan origin. Which is definitely a science thing, but or almost certainly a science thing. Oh, engineering, possibly? Yeah, okay.
Reason engineering, difficulty 3, assisted by computers engineering. Both Da Vinci and Station can assist because you're using the ship's systems to look over stuff, but you also can go to the station and go, hey, I want to double check my calculations. And it's like, well, you can use the computers here, unless the captain of the star doesn't let you. But I don't see any reason why they would disallow you.
Yeah, I'm sure Kovic doesn't mind finding out where someone else is sticking their fingers and why.
That's you're talking to the wrong guy. That's the
it's definitely
Sariana.
Outside of your jurisdiction, but I'm sure you're not opposed to it being found out.
No. I'm just saying, I'm not the one that can give you permission to use the stuff you're wanting to use.
No,
It's not like Kovic has a vested interest in smuggling operations or anything.
Yeah,
It's true. One way or another.
Not that I'm implying he would
investigative
profit from such things, or he's that sort of person, but
no, you'd never imply such.
I mean, he has friends of the family that would help him with that,
Ooh,
But
you suck.
investigative techniques seems very appropriate here for some reason.
Say again, sorry?
Investigative techniques.
Yes.
Yes, that is. I mean, we are investigating. Look at that. None of those, because those are all to do with, those are zero gravity, and it has nothing to do with zero gravity. I do have mistrust Klingons as a trait. which might
Complication
hurt me.
increase.
Yeah. Okay. I also have defector as a trait, because I didn't get rid of that yet.
That doesn't cut either way.
Okay. Lovely. Good. I will give you 3 3 threat.
Good.
Yeah. Amazing so far. I mean, that hits it, but also complicates, and I can get rid of that with a, I'll use Legion of Honor, yeah.
You also have ship and station if you like.
Oh, yeah, we do have that, too, yeah, so, we'll find the ship sheet. Before I forget, these are a thing that I can do. They're rolling Peter's Engineering.
0.
Does not. The station is communications engineering. Yeah, the station says okay. We can just spend those 2 from the station to quash, actually.
Very good. You're able to determine that upon study, it looks to be Klingon type signal and energy signature.
That is both hooray and god damn it. Okay.
We are just here for your convenience.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, if I was a Starfleet officer, it would be a matter of just asking the Klingon liaison, however, and that would still be problematic.
Hmm.
Not the Klingon liaison officer here, the one at Narendra, to be like, hello. I can see that being incredibly problematic from the Romulan liaison officer out here to the Klingon liaison officer over there. But I can try, because it'll be funny.
So,
Also because trying is saying, hey look, I tried, they're being uncooperative.
presence plus
Can't
plus
say that's not
command.
appropriate.
One moment, I'll be right back.
I have to admit, that's a very Romulan way to go about it, though, is the, well, at least I tried. If they said no to tell me what's going on, then that's a them problem. And they're guilty. Also, I apologize if you can hear my cat screaming in the background.
No, with our luck, it's a house that's not supposed to be out here, and then Klingons will have to send somebody to check it out. And
Yeah, the house, because we do have information on house. It might not be the exact house. It might not even be that house. They might be being framed, but there was the one house's ships being displayed.
oh yeah,
Which is he's smart enough to not just accuse a Klingon. However, provoking them is perfectly valid.
however, provoking them is fun for a Romulan.
Provoking them is fun, but also tends to get the results they want.
Yep.
It's the
Let's shake the tree, see what comes out.
Yeah. it's not even always antagonistic, but it's Klingons, so they always take it as antagonistic. Which means they then threaten you, which is then leverage to use against them. So, you can see why this relationship is never a good thing.
The tangled webs you weave.
I know I'm at increased complication already because of mistrust's Klingons.
I have returned. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Had to get a good breath of fresh air.
Yeah. It's Finn.
Hey,
Finn is here.
Ben is here.
Hello.
What are you
The Ben
doing
died.
here? No. I'll take my 2 threat though.
Ow.
Well. Yes, second roll for Saturn Rifle was Presence Command, difficulty, starting from 3. Let's see. You are a defector. Complication goes up by 1.
Okay.
Already counted for the fact you're a Romulan, not a Klingon or Starfleet person. That's why it's 3, not 2. Your mistrust of Klingons will increase your difficulty by 1, because you will have a hard time to get the information. You'll be the sort that might ask, "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm sure." "Stop asking." Starting to insult me.
Yes, ask a different question that's very similar to see if they give an answer that still matches.
It's like,
Or if I catch them in a lie, it's like, that was excessive.
and communication command to be assisted. This is either the ship or the station, whichever one you're using.
So I'm pretty sure this particular Klingon, if I remember, is from a warrior house on Subgita. Right?
Yeah, if they be a Subgita, they'd either be of Subgita or one of its banner houses.
I was just guessing it was the same lady that was technically Varder's boss. Probably. She was a liaison, but that might have changed. I don't know.
It has changed. I forget exactly what their name is
Okay.
at the moment.
Yeah, no, that was just me going for what I knew, which changes. So
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's not like Ryloff keeps up to date on who the hell's there.
Yeah.
Investigative techniques ?
Comp increase. That's part of the problem. If you're too investigative, he might shut you out.
Yeah. As much as team dynamics might normally apply, I feel like it won't.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Because they are definitely not. Yeah, no, the only one I can reasonably take, unless we have a different Admiralty focus.
You
If
are
we even have one.
you are without Admiralty focus currently.
Yep. I'm just going to edit this one quickly to make it blank. Yeah, no, the only one I would have at that point is Investigative Technique, so I'll up the complication again. It's fun. I promise. Starcross. Double my focus range. To make it really worth the extra complication. And I will 2 and 4. Yeah, I'll 2 and 4. 2 momentum for yep.
4.
Yep. We'll do that. I give the. I mean, I didn't start it. He got a lot before it even got to me. That is not amazing. I mean, no, that's a crit and that's a crit. So those are all crits.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 gained so far.
And the station. We'll use the station because the station is the more official place to do that from.
True.
And that's command? Yes, that's command. Thank you, station. Station actually suffers the complication increase as well, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so that is another complication. Thank you, Station.
Uh,
I don't like those. And I don't have any mission directives at present.
no, you're
Because
not.
I'm currently chasing an old mission that's directives have expired.
That would be correct.
However, I'm willing to go for the value of you can't sit around and wait for help.
I would take that. Yeah, I follow you.
Like, very much could just leave this to someone else at this point. So we will re-roll 2 of those on my one to see if I can't remove the complication at least, if not earn extra. One of those is another crit.
So 3
So we can-
gained.
That'd be 3 gained, except we'll use 2 to get rid of the ship's comp, the station comp.
You good? Yeah, so after some tense back and forth with the Klingon liaison officer as part of the Shackleton fleet operations, what is it you're asking of them?
We'll present them with the information we have, or that Rylov has gathered, is there any sanctioned Klingon intelligence operation going on here? I don't need to know the details if there is. I just need to know if there is one. It is relevant to the area of operations of Starfleet in this region. Given it has also shot down a Federation ship, if it is.
No, they don't immediately tell you. They basically have to check in to verify.
Yeah.
They initially say, "I don't believe so, but I'll double check." Which you're able to read between the lines that he's probably reporting to Oda to say, "Hey, by the way, some Romulans asking me questions. Are we actually doing anything, or am I supposed to tell them to shut up?" Sort of thing. But eventually, it's not even that long a wait. It's actually a lot faster than you were expecting.
That's the
And-
kind of service House Subgita can supply to its allies and valued customers.
Customers, Ferengi getting to you.
And the liaison tells you that although there are a variety of operations in the Shackleton Expanse, the area you designated is not one of them. Any information you have regarding that, they would like you to provide any and all data you have so they can launch their own investigation. Because if Klingons, do you suspect Klingon activity was done there?
Klingon assets or technology is certainly being used, and if anything else, Klingons are potentially being framed.
And you can tell them which house was
Yes,
doing this.
insert minor house vessels that were there. That were phantomly projected there. We'll add that they were not physically there, that they were mimicked there, but it was specific ships that were replicated. That are in active service, so it's not like ancient history. They're active service in Klingon Heartland territory, so it's not like we could have scanned them.
that
if
is
it's a
that is
Romulan
still
thing, but
very likely to be of interest to them.
yeah, it's very likely to be. It's more for the fact that getting data on those ships from an outside perspective is that much harder if they're that specific house's garrison ships for their home world. It's not like they go anywhere.
Yeah. No, he appreciates that you share this information with them. And he informs you that Lord Oda will personally be investigating the persons that may be involved in this, as this has become of imperial interest.
I would assume you would like the Da Vinci to stay out of the way.
For now, Lord Oda may have a glorious mission for the Da Vinci yet.
Oh boy.
Delightful.
Dear Harmon Grinnan.
Oh, here we go again.
Dear Harmon Grinnan.
But yeah, you
Man.
can. I will point to you that you can spend momentum for extra questions that you can obtain from this contact.
Yeah. Um,
Same goddamn form letter every time.
I'm like thinking of questions, but also like some of these are definitely questions. It's gonna be like, I am handing that back because I will not answer that question.
Yeah.
um,
I will say on the back of that roll that the liaison does seem to be acting in a manner that suggests that although you are Romulan and in the Romulan service, they recognize that you are a currently serving officer aboard the Da Vinci A, and they trust its captain, if not you in particular.
yeah, it's kind of being carried by the reputation of Thralic. Then,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, Rylov has worked with Sagita before. Technically, I think he just pointed a gun at Oda, though.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Hey,
it
you
was the
lived,
right
so
choice.
that's a point in your direction.
Yeah, and
Most
it was the
people
right
point
choice.
weapons at him, don't get to keep talking after that.
Is that like technically a positive for Klingon reputation? No. That house, I believe we didn't have any information whatsoever on it. I forget its name. We had its name. I just don't remember if we had any other information on it.
It wasn't important.
It wasn't important. It's in any way affiliated with Shackleton operations from the Klingon side of things.
Liaison doesn't mind telling you that those ships are not part of Shackleton fleet operations. The entirety, almost the entirety of the Klingon contingent is Lord Oda's personal house forces or those from the KDF General Service. Other houses are more focused on internal matters, and those ships are not as far as the liaison's been told. Those have not been assigned to anything in the Shackleton fleet operations.
Understandable. It was a question coming from the point of view of, I don't know if that's a minor house under a minor house under a minor house that's under Sapita, and they're still allowed out here by Sapita.
Well, the liaison will point out that they are a traditionalist house, so their opinion on matters is one that keeps them from the good graces of House of Gitta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to ask them, really.
You have your third roll on your table.
That was, yes, the third roll on the table. I cannot change that mission was technically a failure, but I can still put forward progress on the matter in terms of like a detailed update of events to say that, yes, we failed, but we didn't let go of it to Starfleet Command. If that at all makes sense or needs to be a roll. Otherwise, I can think of something else if you'd like.
No, you can give me presence plus command difficulty of 2. Complication of 2 though, because you are of the Romulan service, so they may think this is a ploy by your service.
Yeah.
Why would they think that?
But it is only difficulty 2 because you did have a good reputation before you returned to that service, so it's not like they completely distrust you. It's like it's not that we don't distrust you, we distrust the people you work for.
Understandable. I will let them know.
Please do.
They appreciate knowing. They like when people don't trust them. It's kind of a cultural thing at this point.
Maybe they can take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
And you can be assisted by Communications Command as well to try to spin some advantage out of this, try to get something out of it.
Up to you if mistrust Klingon still is a thing.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay. If you can't see it, then I'm not going to argue for it. Oh, I should also do this. No. I have veteran. I just forgot to roll it.
There.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll give you a momentum for this. And you said presence command.
Yeah.
I am sure Starfleet would not appreciate Star Navy protocols in this.
Not really, no.
No.
The lines of success and failure are different in Romulan service than Starfleet service.
Yes. Therefore, the lines of failure are what we're following here is we didn't fail if we still got useful enough information out of it. I'm not making an argument for using it. I'm being a smartass.
Yeah.
Team dynamics. I don't think I have a focus, unless that one actually works.
No,
could
I wouldn't
see
say
it
so.
Vaguely, but yeah. No. Okay. Really? That's okay.
3 momentum generated as you have established an advantage, however it may or may not benefit you in this mission to come. But your reputation still suffered. Everyone's reputation still kind of was weighed down by it, but there is a certain level of positive influence in your next mission review, as they may be a little more charitable given the new information. I mean, your previous evaluation's already done and recorded. That's already happened. And short of a court-martial, it's not being reversed. But, you know.
Yeah.
The continued extracurricular effort is noted. Extracurricular? That's not the right word. Anyway. But yes. I then turn the camera over to Lieutenant Junior Grade Ven.
Yes.
Have you been briefed what's happened so far?
Not really.
So the short of it,
In fact, I remember I had to leave a little early yesterday. Not yesterday, last week. So I didn't even quite see the exact ending.
so the short of it is, okay.
I know. Hang on. Why am I blanking on her name? I shouldn't be blanking on her name. She just tried to kill the captain. Or admiral.
Jaishu.
Jaishu. Yeah. I know we stopped Jaishu last time, and then I had to leave before we could lock her up or anything. So I don't know how that went.
So that's been basically what's happening is a week of sorry, my cord's cutting in and out every so often. This week is she has been captured and the Admiralty staff has been detained and is being processed. The Da Vinci, largely because of that, is having to stay close to Halanak Station because you basically have to fill in some of the blanks, and also Halanak Station needs Starfleet presence because of the Halanak agreement. Which means that all of you are basically being you have a lot of free time over the week, but there's also a good chunk of it that's being taken up by being investigated or being talked with, or what did you scan here? What did you see this? What did you think of that person? And just general administrative stuff, like as the head science officer, you have to check in with your various labs and stuff.
Oh boy, and because I'm the head sensor guy on the Da Vinci, I probably had to answer a lot of that.
Yep. And the other thing too is that you basically have 3 task roles you can do before the week is up, because it'll basically take a week before we get to current start date, before the investigation basically is wrapped up as far as you're all concerned, and it becomes someone else. It becomes the JAG office's problem and the diplomatic corps' problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jaishu was captured. I'll note that.
was gonna
And
say,
the
yeah,
plan
I
was
would-
foiled, and Admiral Pend is currently he is not considered a guilty party anymore. He's considered a victim and is under medical review. So whether he's returning or not is under review. Although I'll actually gloss over on that last bit. Sorry, because that's something Ben wouldn't have been told. That's something Sayrana and Rylov would have to have been told. But unless either of them told you, Ben wouldn't know this.
Okay, I leave that to their discretion as to whether or not they told him or briefed him.
But beyond that, the Wilson R. Abbott is here because they're the ship that's doing the investigation part of it, and they're here to take all the prisoners, and both the ones from this mission and previous missions, to move them over to Narinder Station.
Last time we had an encounter with a Thatton, was that his ship?
That's his ship, yeah.
Okay, that is his ship. Okay, huh. Neat. In which case, I've been dodging this long enough. I'm going to try and find Sub-Lieutenant Talora. She has been bugging me to take a look at my prosthetic for
Euphemism.
months.
Get over there. So what do you ask of the sub-lieutenant?
Well, you've told me that there are modifications you wish to make. Go ahead. What are you thinking?
I leave that into the hands of Rylov. It's his idea, I
Yeah,
believe.
I was gonna say.
The player rather than the character.
Yes.
I believe that player is currently feeding cats.
Ah.
Let's see. Kovic has 3 favors with Talora, so I could probably get her to install a dope stick lighter in that arm.
Oh God.
And a little traveling banner that
Right.
mentions something about Adler and
Oh, here we go.
But I will say that there may be things Teller in specific will say, but I'll say in the general, now that Ven has spoken with Telora, this has opened the door for future spends where you would get another talent. You could, with this new installation, have stuff like exceptional attribute and other cyborg related materials, because you now have your arm. You now have modifications that can be done to your arm.
Yeah, perfect timing.
we're doing
I
this.
love.
Hi.
Ven is finally taking Talora up on the look at his arm,
Oh, lovely.
and it very much in the vein of you've been bugging me for months. What are you thinking?
That really depends. What uses did you have in mind? Because you don't seem the sort to want a weapon.
Cigarette lighter.
Yeah, no. Not really. If I could put in some maybe tricorder integration.
Oh, the
Tricorder integration, touch-based scanning. Surfaces that you touch, you can transfer the information directly into a device that will analyze it.
That sounds cool.
Which is essentially just adding a touch feature to a tricorder, but it does allow you to do it subtly. Tricorders are more obvious.
Yeah, you have to run them over a thing in order to scan the thing.
You can reasonably, as much as you can act casual, lean up against a wall and happen to get specific information about its makeup, or brush against a person and get their DNA.
Yeah,
It's not exactly entirely your thing. But
That
it can be
is.
useful.
That's actually a really good idea. There have been. I'd like to say that. I've never been in a situation where I wish I had something like that, but unfortunately, thinking back, yeah, I've probably been in a few situations where I wish I had something like that.
Lovely. Which hand was it again? I forget. That's me as a person, not her. Which arm is it that's gone? The right or the left?
It is the right arm.
Oh, lovely. When you shake hands with people, even assuming you're right-handed.
Or assuming they're
Well, I
right-handed.
mean, it can be both arms if you're ambitious enough.
Mean,
The flesh
No.
is weak and the steel is strong.
This consideration, I will, as you both look into this matter, I would say would be a reason engineering roll, difficulty 2, to look up the appropriate schematics. This is assisted by computers plus engineering of the station or the ship.
She has a 12 to reason engineering, but she can get a 14 if she uses science.
Reason.
Or you can lead it yourself.
I'm
It's up to you.
I'm also a 14. Are we doing what aspect of this are we doing right now? Are we just doing the
Theoreticals.
design or?
You're looking up the relevant schematics and
Then I have a research focus.
Yeah, go for it. She'll help you.
What's the diff?
a 2.
2? I'll take a momentum. It won't give me a reroll or anything, but it's a third die.
Now, on the scope of assisting, could she use science instead, or are we sticking to engineering specifically?
As the assist, you could look into this the far more theoretical side rather than the practical schematical side.
Lovely. Wow, that's one of the few times that's happened.
And do you want the station or the ship to assist you?
Presumably the station.
Sure. I've been rolling unless Star Captain would love to. It's up to you there.
I'm sorry, what do you need from me?
I've been rolling the station unless you've particularly wanted to.
Oh, if you would like to
Okay.
keep going, you can keep going.
I just wanted to make sure first because I was like, oh, I mean, the way we normally do things,
Yeah.
with letting people roll the thing that they're in command of.
Gain an additional one. Yeah, you're able to collect the relevant schematics over the court, and you're able to verify, one that the relevant schematics and research and documentation regarding your particular type of biology and genetic structure, and the type of injury, and given the various materials that are on you. And also, some of it's Romulan stuff, not the super top secret stuff, because Tyler would not be allowed to give that away without being not having a job anymore. But
Life
like
anymore.
the general
Right.
scientific stuff, the stuff the Federation knows, and some of the stuff the Free Information Sphere knows. Because a lot of their scanning technology is touch-based.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
useful.
If we can find an exotic energy source to put in there, that would just be lovely for scientific reasons.
And for lighting cigarettes.
Potentially.
Man, you are really on about that dope stick lighter.
You know how frustrating it is to have a dope stick but not a lighter? As long as I can find a lieutenant junior grade, then I'd have a lighter.
Doesn't even need to be like a lighter. If you just have like your fourth finger and your thumb, the pads of those can heat up. It would be just hold the end of it and light it like that.
Ooh, induction lighter.
Yes.
What's the material they make the sides of cigarette things out of?
Yeah.
Like the side of a matchbook. Both of your fingers are that, so you can rub your fingers together and make a fire.
Oh
That is
man,
a-
you just like, snap your fingers and
Different direction, same concept. Yeah.
snap your fingers, make a little fire and
Yeah.
light.
Spark
Oh,
fingers. It's just flint.
That's so dumb.
So for your
But yes.
second task of the week of 3, what would you like to work on?
Is there anything specific that either Rylov or that anyone would like me to look into?
Nothing terribly specific from Rylov. it's kind of a week of we're pull, we're spread thin doing extra duties, so he's not giving you extra work to do as it is.
Mhm.
Extra duties is like a vague sense because we have to spread the ship crew out amongst the station as well.
Yeah. Presumably then I'll spend maybe 1 day, 1 tick's worth of time relaxing and 1 tick's worth of time you know, putting in some serious work and helping out around the station.
Extra hours. Ooh.
Give me Insight Command difficulty of 1 on the
Okay.
back of those 2 ticks. If you perceive
spend
anything about the
momentum.
world about you and the situation the station is in, or could be in.
Okay, and I do have empath. I generate 1. I'm gonna spend that 1 and 1 more.
You are able to observe that in general, it seems that there is a tension within the bulk of the free information sphere officials. That there is that perhaps the path that they set upon themselves of a research cooperative is to fall away to militarism and conquest, as so many interstellar empires tend to become. You also get a sense among some of the Starfleet crew that they are worried about the Halanak agreement and whether or not Starfleet can actually honor its side of it. They're trying not to say that to the free information sphere people, because you're not supposed to voice those things. That might jeopardize the mission. But the last bit you would observe is that among the general coming and going populace, there is a vague sense of, or perhaps it's just a feeling you get, I suppose, this general aura of an oncoming conflict looming over the horizon. This idea, this sort of tension that happens before a war that people don't really detect among themselves, but you kind of sense it.
I see. Oh yeah, that's not great.
From there, a new scene. As the week comes to its end, and we cut to a rather busy station operations. Whoops, I pulled everything out of order. Oh, there we go. Boop, boop. Boop. That's the wrong thing. And the person sitting in the chair, so to speak. Captain of Stars, Seirana. Would anyone else be in station operations during a normal working day?
For the first half of the day, yes, but because some bonehead put engineering and operations on the opposite side of the station, I can't spend the whole day there.
It's not boneheaded, it's redundancy. Should one system be compromised in the event of cataclysm, the other side will hopefully not be destroyed. It's
Well, yeah, not boneheaded. Light-headed or gel-headed, but not bone.
gel-headed.
I guess, well, no, because gel is what you want your head to be when you're in Ubitar. Probably like crusty-headed or something.
Yeah.
There's a slightly hardened head.
Hard-headed, if you will.
Hard-headed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hard gel.
Anyone else in ops? You don't have to be. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'd
asking.
Probably be up at ops.
Don't think the harmonizer would be.
No, I mean, Rylov's got a ship to look after, unless that's mostly staying docked at the moment.
You were able to undock and move about at the moment. You just don't have a mission yet, other than maintain
so-
security of Halanak Station and general research. Yeah.
I mean, the FIS has its own idle patrols around, so the Da Vinci's just kind of a response vessel at the current time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can probably be an ops, just because it doesn't take long to get from there to the ship.
So, at this point in the working day, you are finally, after that week of time, find yourself untethered from the investigations. They have now moved on to others to worry about. The absence of the Rear Admiral is notable, but there's the hope that he shall return in good order. As for, and I will highlight again for Ven's sake, because you didn't hear this bit, the captain, Captain Thralic, is still kind of working with the Wilson R. Abbott on things. So the ship is currently under the temporary command of Rylov, while Thralic is working on helping with that part of the investigation. Better to lose one officer than a whole ship's worth, you know, to the task. And I'm helping. Captain of Stars, Seyrana, if you would present us a log about your Seyrana's feelings on what has come and gone.
Ooh, would you like a personal log or a station commander log?
I will leave that to your discretion.
Okay. Station commander's log. Captain of the Stars, Seyrana. Current star date is
60564.7.
that. All systems nominal. The Da Vinci is currently in orbit of the station. I'm told I'm doing a mission yet. Sorry, well, this long. There's not much to report. The daily coming and going of the station seems unremarkable at the moment. The various investigations into various matters are continuing to advance at a current pace. I'm sure both the Commander Rylov and the Harmonizer Kovac have much to report to me. But other than that, I believe everything is in good working order. I am told that Commander Haifa is making good progress on her QED, right? Quantum Entanglement Drive, yeah. QED Starship. And I am excited to see that be completed. I also have some projects of my own that I've been working on, and well, as it stands currently, I believe they are making good progress, and I'm happy with their results. For once, we've had an easy week, and I think we've all appreciated that. It's after a lot of intense action and excitement, I think it's been good for all of us to have a moment to catch our breath. I only wish the Admiral Pent were here with us to do so. And log.
Operation buzzes away around you. Various displays and matters both inside the station and around the station carry on. Various traffic coming and going.
Clicks there, buzzing.
Clicks in the ceiling.
And Commander Haifa, you are you note that there seems to be a pending hail with with an urgency tag attached to it for directed towards Station Command with a quick text addendum of requisition of Da Vinci use.
I'd open the hail. This is Halanak operations. What is your request?
There it is.
Static's too long. I'm just gonna hang up. Company policy.
This is the UPN 001 Triumph. We were doing and I'll add that that's a ship classification for a stellar fleet ship, the Upantari fleet. This is the UPN 001 Triumph. We believe we have detected various life forms in immediate distress. We would like to launch a rescue operation to save the species from destruction, but we require further assistance from the USS Da Vinci.
Please transfer all data you have.
And you're fired data.
I say,
And you're fired.
I say, Lieutenant Finn, assistance is required.
Very well.
I'm basically, I want to spend just 5 minutes or so verifying this. That what they think is happening, or at least what they say is happening is what these records show.
Reason science difficulty 2.
Cool.
Assisted by computer science.
Research focus.
I would say so.
Cool. Spending a momentum.
Can I assist?
You certainly can.
Focus in impersonation or computers.
I would take impersonation. I get what you're driving at.
That's 4 momentum created.
Oops, I typed the wrong thing. So according to their records, this is a star system within, in theory, claimed space, known as the Dish system.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to pronounce that.
It is a system that has a Class E geoplastic planet within a binary star system. They were doing a routine examination of the planet as a sort of mainly to calibrate their sensors. Like, this is kind of a system that's not really. There's no resource from this place. It's a molten world essentially.
It's a good place to calibrate your sensors.
Yeah, because it's a known system. It's not far from their home system. But however, during that scan, they noticed that there was, to their surprise, someone in their staff noted that there was some sort of life form. These rather large life forms that were that seemed to almost leap out of the molten rock and hovered through the air and then crashed into the surface.
Like breaching whales.
and they found that in their scans, much to the annoyance of some of the staff, because this wasn't an officially sanctioned research mission, that wasn't what they were assigned to do. They were assigned to do something else, but they did find that, according to the scan, it seemed that the animals, in particular, seemed to be very, very sick from from an unknown source. They don't know much about those species, but they can tell that their life signs. They notice there's various life signs on the planet, and they seem to be fading. In the sense that they've seen in other life forms, indicating that there was some sort of systemic or species-wide extinction event that is soon to come if they stay in their current environment. They proposed and argued vehemently to the captain of the Triumph that the species needed to be moved to a different planet to preserve their lives. The captain debated it among the crew until solidarity was found, at which point solidarity agreed that the Triumph on its own is not sufficient to move that many life forms. So they believe the Da Vinci would be able to achieve this mission and save the lives of life forms within their care. Because that's the legal argument that was presented to the captain in particular, was that they're expected to preserve, if they find a research subject and that research subject is in peril, they're expected to do something.
In fact, you're not. That is Federation rule number 1.
Yeah.
Terrible rule, but it's hey, it's the first rule.
Yeah, you very quickly learn the FAS has an opposite reaction.
Can I go ahead and verify no signs that there are no signs of intelligent life? Actually, these are Vin's questions. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be my. Wait, no, I don't get a free question. But what I will do. Hang on.
Well, we have 6 momentum, so even if you.
No, I know. I just want to.
Why don't you get a free question? You are the science officer.
Not
but
at
I
the
didn't use
station.
sensors.
Oh.
That's the limit on it. It's only if I'm using
sensors or computers.
I thought it was sensors or a tricorder.
Ooh, big question marks.
Well, we didn't do either of those here.
That's true. But yes, you have a bonus momentum flying out there, and I gained a bonus threat. Thank you.
Yep. So bonus momentum. I will ask the question of, did the crew's data indicate any signs of sentience or higher intelligent thought from these life forms?
I'll hand that back to you. It seems they didn't do that research. They didn't have the crisis kind of popped up, and the argument began immediately upon discovering they were in peril. Whether they're conscious or not didn't enter into their equation.
Were they able to determine a rough timeline of how much time these things have left?
That is
Because if they were able to determine that they're in peril somehow, presumably they at least have a starting rate to go at.
I have threat.
Yes, you do.
It equivalents to 24 hours.
Oh, geez.
That's why they also wanted to ask for the Da Vinci rather than, say, the Wilson or Abbott, because they know you guys have a QSD drive.
If my readings here are correct, if this mission, if this request is to be fulfilled, the Da Vinci is going to have to scramble for deployment immediately and start making preparations.
Oh, then we need to finish our analysis. Centurion and Rylov cannot make decisions without information. Do they know of, or do we have in our banks a suitable replacement planet?
For momentum, I can answer that.
Sure.
Yeah, you're able to find one that's... geoplastic planets aren't the hardest things in the world to find, so that's the kind of atmosphere they need. There's a few you could settle them in.
Yeah, the real question is going to be, how do we transport them from point A to point B?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Let's finish looking at the sensors, and then I'll try to design. I'll try to figure that out.
Right. But all things considered, we might need to start making some of these plans and preparations while en route. Again, we only have 24 hours. Time is of the essence. That is, if we are going to be...
The first thing to
bonding.
do. Does anyone have any more questions before we move on? Okay. Then I will say this is Halanak Station. We request confirmation of intelligence or lack of intelligence among the species. And we are notifying the appropriate authorities as we speak.
Stand by.
We might want to instruct the Da Vinci to at least start preparing for departure.
I'll note as your allies are about to do a roll. They have 10 and 3 with a focus. How many dice do you want them to buy?
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 3.
Give them 3 momentum.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. 3 momentum.
And their ship will assist as well, but I wouldn't hold you. Well, the ship's not terrible. Still. 3 momentum means I have 4 dice.
Hey.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ship doesn't help. But that gains 1.
1. Okay, I'll take it.
You get a response back as like Vin's like telling you Vin's bouncing back with you, and you get called back again. This is the Triumph. We have a preliminary picture. A more in-depth scan would take and study would take us outside of our rescue window. But from what we gather, it does not seem the creatures themselves are sapient. However, we do note that there are, or rather there seems to be some sort of remnants of some sort of sapient life on them. Some sort of weird material, some sort of rock, or that seems artificial in nature. We don't think this is something they naturally grow. We're not sure what this is, but we don't seem to see any sense from our preliminary scans of their own self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, transmit that data, and we'll get back to you with an update.
Acknowledged. And they transmit.
I'll say, Lieutenant Finn, go ahead and figure out everything you can about this life form. I will look at designing a system because the very first thing Rylov is going to ask is for both of these things. So
We might also want to consider, upon arrival, dispatching a shuttle to perform an aerial survey of these creatures from up close.
Yeah, you'll want to bring that up with the Centurion once you've completed that analysis.
Right.
So, GM, I want to figure out everything we need to know about transporting these animals between the 2 planets. What that's going to take.
Reason engineering difficulty of 3, assisted by computers engineering. Actually, I'll dial that back to 2 because you are a crisis and emergency ship, so you're optimized for this sort of thing.
Would you like assistance on that? Assuming I'm looped in on the situation, I could help with like insight medicine or reason medicine on like a more biological ground.
I have. It would be helpful, but I have not looped people in specifically.
Okay. I didn't know if that was just how it went or if that was an intentional choice.
Take a momentum. Focus in Starfleet protocol because this may have been done before.
Definitely. Plus station's computers engineering.
I'm trying to find it.
Gain 1.
Gain 2, you said it went down to diff 2.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Yeah, no, you're able to assemble the appropriate protocols for transporting a large amount of, or rather large sized creatures. Basically, you clear out your cargo base and then you turn them into, emergency holding areas, and then you warp to your destination and then beam them out of those same bays. And that's a thing that I will say, preparations will need to be done, but they're far easier for your style of ship to do than, say, a battle cruiser would, because you're like I said, you're crisis and emergency services. A lot of your ship is built for mass evacuations, stuff like that.
Can I argue that the traits meticulously maintained and well-drilled crew make that trivial, or a very reduced effort? Like, I could call down to them and...
It would definitely pull the...
if with 2 advantages, if it pulls it down to 0, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, it would pull down to... It would pull down to 0. I'll agree with you on that. You basically have you just have to tell people to do it. Like, you know what to do, you just have to tell people that you want them to do it, and they'll do it.
Alright. Then I'll call Rylov over and start going through all the basic information on what's happening and wait for Vin to get the last little bit of detail about the sentient rocks.
Yeah, which is probably like really just stepping over from the side. We don't no need to really repeat all the information because I've been here.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured
like if you want to, by any means,
if
he's skinning it in some way, but yeah.
But while narratively, as Haifa's looping Rylov in, Ven, I believe you're being looked to for some information. To find information.
So, I guess it's very much we want to know as much as we can going in. I don't know. I get the distinct impression there's a lot that I'm not going to be able to find out until we, get there.
Well, we can look in and try to determine, right, is this thing on them, right? Is it truly artificial, like they have little sentient AI backpacks on or something? Or is it just like
I mean,
a
I'm
lithoid or something?
I'm assuming from what Corbinian said that that's something that we're only going to determine if we go there.
I don't think that was said.
D- 'cause-
That was just that's what they told us they had found.
I mean, yeah.
What would you like?
I guess I'm just confused as to what I'm supposed to be looking into while we're still here.
If you believe there's nothing to look into, I will swing back to Ryloff and Haifa.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will sum it all up by saying probable prime directive implications, but Lieutenant Vin is not certain enough to make any calls at this moment.
There's possible prime directive implications, but also possible prime directive wiggle room if there is already some sort of external factor affecting these things or these creatures.
I do have a question. If Hyphen knows something, does Hyphen know if Rylov went to Starfleet Academy?
He would possibly, if he has access to Rylov's record.
Yeah, be in your service file, yeah.
Yeah, because he has a Starfleet service file.
So Rylov did.
He did, yeah, as a not a full length course. It was more of like
a bridging course because he moved from the Romulan Navy into Starfleet.
Oh, okay. Then Haifa will very pointedly say, well, unfortunately, the prime directive gives no wiggle room.
If it's a species that is primitive but has already been under the influence of a outside force,
It's an
then
exemption, not wiggle room.
that
Wiggle room is what lands you in front of a board of inquiry. An exception is, an allowed deviation.
which was created by wiggling. We can get into pedantics about it later.
It's the commanding officer's prerogative to end up in front of a board of inquiry.
I will highlight without a roll to Ryloff that such wiggle rooms are invoked, as it were, by the captain or the commanding officer, violating the prime directive and then answering for it at an inquiry. Because anytime you violate the prime directive, it's an automatic review, and it's like, well, here's the exception that I had. It's like, oh, well, okay, but we have to you have to tell us in person.
Yeah. No, they're like,
And I'll say for funny that you get the impression Haifa would not say this to Thralic. Like if Thralic had said what you said, Haifa might have given her a look, but it's like that's your prerogative. But with you, in your uniform with your record, Haifa feels the need to reinforce that there are laws.
Just a heads up, you are going to get interviewed.
Yeah, and interviewed is better than a firing squad.
True.
But yes, might as well prepare the ship anyway. I don't believe there are any other requests coming in for the Da Vinci at this time, or nothing urgent anyway.
No, nothing urgent. But we're going to need time for troubleshooting, and we're going to need time for movement. and leeway in case something goes wrong. So, my suggestion is the engineer and the next highest ranking officer on the Da Vinci at the moment is to use the QSD.
That sounds appropriate, given the situation.
All right.
How
Then
long would it take to reach the location at normal warp as a curiosity, or regular full warp as a curiosity?
GM.
More for how long would it take us to get back here if there was some other emergency, just as a the more you know rainbow.
Oops, wrong indicator. I need the.
Because he's about to ask for a roll that you're going to do, not me, because I have a con of 1.
I see. Clever.
I know how to get the starship going, but not to do with
It would take you about 24 hours to get back. If you,
Okay.
Yeah, about 24 hours or so.
So reasonably, you have to use the QST, otherwise everything's probably dead by the time you get there.
Yeah.
Okay. See to the.
See, you want me to get the ship ready?
Yeah, line up the orders for getting the ship ready. I still need to get permission for the movement from Captain of the Stars, I believe.
That'd be correct.
Yep. So line up the orders, and if you see the conversation go well, hit send.
Hive is pretty confident in this, so once Rylov gets like 2 paces away, an alert goes out for a full recall of the Da Vinci's crew to be. It's not yellow alert, but it is get on the ship and be
Report.
ready to go in 2 hours, or you're left behind.
Lieutenant Finn, you get a message. You need to get to your ship within 2 hours, or you're going to be left behind.
Specifically, Lieutenant Vin has to get to cargo bays 4 and 5 to help oversee the installation of the equipment, because we need a science officer.
Okay, yes, I was planning on going to the ship anyway.
Well, now you have to do it. Now.
Does it even specify your orders, or is it just like report to cargo bay 5 for installation of new equipment?
It says, Instant Vin, report to ship, be ready to set, I want to say set sail, but like to leave in 2 hours. PS from Chief Engineer, also be at cargo bay like 5 in 45 seconds or something.
45 seconds.
Yeah, run. I forget that people can't just turn off and appear other places.
Ven just turns around.
45 seconds
Nick,
takes a
wait,
long
excuse
time
me,
for that.
pardon. Yeah.
I will also head to the ship.
Is no one going to tell Sayrana about this? Are you just going to leave?
No,
Literally,
but
Rylov's
doing
walking up
it.
to her to do that. They're just
Okay.
leaving
just-
while he's doing it.
Yeah, you notice
Yeah,
2 of them get up and just race away. Well, one race away, one vanish away.
Yeah. She
Oh,
kinda
no,
looks
I'm
over
wearing the
at
armband,
Adam, which she's
so-
working
That's
with, and
true.
she looks over at Rylov.
I tell you what.
And she asks, "What's the commotion about? Is something wrong?"
There is a request from. I don't remember the ship's name off
Triumph.
the top of my head. The Triumph. Insert letter designation before that.
UPN
Like-
001.
UPN 001 Triumph has put in a request for the Da Vinci to immediately assist in what is perhaps, I believe you'd classify it as an environmental crisis, or a environmental crisis does not sound accurate. It's a population that is about to go extinct due to a failing environment.
Where is this?
Insert name of planet.
But
There's
my question
information
is,
that I have processed that I have not retained.
my question is it within or outside of FIS space?
It's within, in theory, space specifically. So it's definitely
Well-
within the FIS.
They are protected under FIS environmental law. we should prevent their extinction. GM, is that accurate? As far as I know, that we don't have any laws against like violating first contact. That this is okay. Okay, can I make an insight roll to see if this is the correct course of action or not from a FIS legal point of view?
Insight command, difficulty 1.
Focus in FIS law.
Certainly.
Insight command. Momentum.
Generate 2. It is indeed.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry.
It is considered your duty that anything within that is a research subject within your space, if it becomes in peril while you're researching it, you are duty bound to do something about it. You must try what you can to save them. But it gives exceptions for like if you were unaware or you didn't know, then you're not legally held responsible. Like you're not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see it happen in front of you, you are required to do something.
Yes. Okay. I will. Yes. Serana will nod her head affirmatively and say, I will stay here and monitor the situation from the station. Let me know if I can assist you in any way. But you are free to clear, or you are free to do this. This is the correct. You are ordered to do this because this is the correct thing to do. Is my point. Sorry.
I will specify that through Starfleet law and the Prime Directive of the Federation, there might be a possibility that legally the Da Vinci will not be able to assist. I feel obligated to inform you of that. There is reasonable belief currently that we can. But reasonable leaves room for the unfortunate.
Do you want me to dispatch a fleet of FIS vessels to do what you cannot?
I believe the request is made because that is unreasonable of the FIS to achieve.
Yes, you are faster and more capable than anything we have. At the moment, anyways. Look,
Well,
I
more
am
capable.
ordering you to do this. I cannot let these animals die, whether or not they are sentient, but I will not hold it against you if your country's laws prevent you from executing this.
They are
You
not
will
my
be-
country's laws.
You are working... Oh my god, okay, we have a very complicated jurisdiction here. Her point is she's giving you free reign to decide what you will do on the ground and that she will support you either way.
Captain of the Stars, if you can, by any extent, find a clause or usable feature of the Halanak Agreement which would permit you, or permit an exception to the Prime Directive through that arrangement with the FIS, by all means, do so and send such information to the Da Vinci. That might supersede everything else.
Very well, I shall get on it immediately. And she's going to walk over to one of these consoles and start researching away.
He's just gonna step to the thing because we've got a
Yeah,
departure. that
yeah,
needs to
no,
get
she wants you to
thing.
go.
Yeah.
I'd
Just like
rather
he's not a
fudge the
commander.
I'd rather fudge the time on when I sent this order versus when you started going to here than you know.
Yeah. I mean, I also imagine that crawling through a legal document is going to take you time.
Mm-hmm.
A legal and diplomatic document between two different federations.
And hey, look, if all of you get fired, well, we're in need of experienced new officers in the ever-growing FIDF.
No.
Very rapidly, the Da Vinci crew, in its well-drilled nature and its meticulous planning, gets underway. And correct me if I'm wrong, I imagine you guys pop out of existence rather the minute you can. Is that so, Centurion?
Yes. The moment that we are squared away to be able to depart, we shall do so. Or we shall clear it with ops and do so, but yeah.
Away it goes. And Captain Sarcerena, as they are racing away, you can give me reason, command or security, difficulty of 2, assisted by computers, command or security.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that that again? Why did that happen?
Reason, command
Okay.
or security,
Reason,
difficulty 2.
Reason, command, FIS laws of focus, because the treaty agreement is part of the FIS legal framework now.
Yes.
Okay. Diff 2. I have a 14 with a focus. Take a threat. Actually, I lied. We have 6 momentum. I'll spend the momentum.
Certainly.
Sure. I'll let the comp stand because why not?
And station computers command.
Pulling it up. Computers. Command.
Plus one more.
We're back up at. Okay, we are. Okay, if we are actually overflowing with momentum, then I will just quash it because. That should put us at 5. No, you're right. 4.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do math?
You're able to compare your laws and their laws and how the Prime Directive question is answered or addressed in the Halanak Agreement, and it seems that the writers of the document had expected this to come up. As long as it's within your the FIS borders, under the agreement, the Federation recognizes that these planets are under the guardianship of the Free Information Sphere. So long as the Free Information Sphere is requesting the assistance under the, they perceive it basically as a distress signal. It's like, I'm asking for a distress. I'm saying that someone in my space is in distress. Go help them, please, because you're closer or you're more able to do so. But if it's outside of your space, then the law compels you to do something, but the Federation can't be compelled that way.
Okay, so as far as my legitimate good faith reading of the text of the agreement under which I operate, giving this order is lawful and right and actually my duty to do so?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if I get in trouble, I will repeat that. I will repeat that to myself in the trial. And yes, as soon as you guys enter the station, you would receive a QEC conversation, like a QEC notification that is the written out. Okay, can I spend 2 momentum that I have written out a list of formal orders as my position of acting CO to them, using these specific clauses of the treaty to justify our actions here. Essentially, to have have it written in writing, the legal framework under which I think we're operating here.
Yep. So what that's done for the Starfleet, for the Da Vinci, is that you now have a clear written exception argument put for you, because you have a distress signal issued. So it does. You can violate the Prime Directive as long as the Free Information Sphere is requesting you to help with that particular planet. So there's that plus side. But I will add on that Captain of Star Serana, as you are about to send these orders, you notice that the enforcement of the agreement, or its invocation, falls outside of the military arm of the agreement and is actually the auspice of the Harmonizers. You're not the one who can send the order.
Oh God. Okay. I want to keep all of this written up, and I want to contact Kovuk, explain the current conundrum, and show him my legal document, and ask him to put his signature on it.
Hovik was out dealing with the dog during part of this, so brief me very quickly.
Okay, so there is a species that is possibly sentient, possibly not,
Right.
within FIS borders, whose planet is about to undergo some kind of mass extinction event.
Right.
And we want to help them, but we don't want to get the Starfleet people in trouble. So we have written out the exact clauses of the FIS Federation Halanak Agreement Treaty that support our case that it is lawfully binding for us to perform these actions. And I need your signature on it as the station's law enforcement officer to certify them. I want to go through all of this extra effort with the paperwork in order to help cover our asses if this goes to inquiry.
When you say legal for us to do this, you mean for us to compel Starfleet through the treaty to take these people even if they're
legal for us to give them this order, and legal for them to follow out this order even if it's contradictory to their nation's laws.
All right. Can Kovik do a little bit of quick and dirty research to determine if this is something that can be done just through a document here, or do we need to have somebody on site to call that clause if necessary?
Reason command, difficulty of 2, assisted by computers command.
Yeah, the important thing is only the Da Vinci is fast enough to get there, do this and out in time, so it has to be them or no one.
FIS ships are fast enough, it's that your vessels are small.
They don't have the capabilities, I should say.
Yeah, if they wanted to move that many people, they'd have to deploy the entirety of the Stellar Fleet to do it. It's like, we have to defend the borders, and the Inferior Fleet's like, we do too. It's like, is it that important? We feel compelled to do it. Wait, there's a big-ass ship here. Let's get them to do it.
Yeah.
What was that difficulty?
2.
2, okay.
We'd have to pull every FIS asset to do it.
Don't think I have a focus here. So take a momentum for a third die.
Taking momentum. Give me.
Woof. I think I've got a medal that will let me ignore that.
Station may save you.
That's true. Station.
Okay. What's station rolling?
Computers command.
Computers command. Nope.
Thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully it's the one that doesn't count. So yeah, I will use the League of Harmony to ignore a single complication.
Very good.
Sounds like a sports league.
I mean, it kind of is if you consider law a sport, you monster. No.
Yes.
And by monster, we mean attorney.
You just repeated me.
They're judges, but the referees of life.
Nah, I'm not saying that on camera.
Nope.
So
Beef jerky is just a cow raisin.
So, there is the document in and of itself is sufficient. However, it's the bare minimum. Normally, when a portion of the law is being enforced or compelling action is done, it is advised under the ethical codes of the harmonizers that a harmonizer or deputy harmonizer is present to ensure that the order is not being abused in some fashion. Both in the signature, but also an observer to ensure that it is staying within the bounds of the agreement.
Well, Captain, it looks like I'm going to have to go on a field trip. It's better by the treaty if I'm there to quote unquote enforce the law, as it were.
Very well. I will sign off on this. And I will keep the station under. I will keep the station. I'll hold the fort while the rest of you are gone.
Right. So yeah, Kovic looked at his coat and hat and a carton of cigarettes. And...
Wait, have they already left at this point?
They have, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So you.
Yeah, I
will-
set us on a real quick order.
I will point out
Yeah,
to you,
it's-
it will cost you 3 opportunity to call in the local Stellar Fleet ship to give him a ride. To
This is
race
why we
after
need
them.
Those the QE. What's the acronym?
QED.
QSD, not QED.
QSD, right? Quantum
Quantum
slipstream, sorry.
Slipstream. Okay. We need those shuttles up and about. That way we can just like commandeer the bus and just
yeah.
press the local shuttle bus into service and then send it where we need to go. But
Well,
yes, go ahead.
let me ask if the Steel Fleet, I mean, or whoever, I mean, the FIS also has like civilian traders and whatever. I mean, can't we just hire one of those, or like use a non-military or use a non-armed fleet vessel? Surely they have gigs or couriers or something.
They do, but it would still amount to 3 resource to
Okay.
pull that into service.
Fine. So yes, I guess 1 momentum and. Well, now hold on. Do I? Oh, what? Wait,
Oh.
I have a favor with the presiding speaker.
Oh,
You do, yep.
Can you get like one of the presidential yachts they use for high-ranking political figures to take you out there?
Well, I can at least get I can at least ask the providing speaker to, you know, to take care of that without us having to spend resources if we want to spend a favor with the high speaker on this.
I believe at that point that falls to your judgment.
Yeah, that's your decision. He has a lot.
Let's-
So we probably should think
let's-
of him more.
I want to keep that favor in my back pocket. So take 1 momentum and 2 threat.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kovic will grab his hat and coat and carton of cigarettes and carton of dope sticks rather. And...
To make sure that there's a smoking room available.
Yeah, you grab your hat and your jacket and you step out into the rain to get on the streetcar that will somehow take you all the way to the other planet.
Yeah, well, you know, you didn't realize that he was on Upandara this entire time, where it's always raining.
Just on the parts people care about.
It's a quantifiable fact that if there was less murder on Upantar, there would be less rain.
See, my next assignment needs to be like on Oranganar. What's wrong?
Well, the implication of a statement that when people die on Upantar, they turn into liquid that becomes like, you know, hydrogen in the air that then becomes rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, maybe
Corpses
that's where
fall
acid
from the
rain
sky
comes
all the
from on
time.
Upantar. It's from when you kill too many people.
Well, they just go back to the Great Slime that way. It's okay.
That reminds me. The Upantar pickup truck. You want to join the Great Slime with me?
Hey, baby.
The slime line.
Let's go out to the bog and get slimy.
God damn it.
So just as quickly as the Da Vinci A warps into system. Actually, I put you there, but you could be closer because you got a scan of the star system. So where would you like to pop into existence?
Probably like this range band. Like still it's a safe distance away because we don't know where the Triumph might be moving.
And just as the Da Vinci
So-
A arrives, a few minutes later, as you're getting your bearings, the UPN 007 Faith appears.
Oh.
Kovic will call the Da Vinci.
Like, oh, good to see you here, Harmonizer.
Hi, I'm coming aboard. Turns out, under the treaty, it's the Harmonizer's office that has the proper authority to enforce a treaty provision that would let you save these people should they turn out to be sentient. But it's best that the Harmonizer's on site. So,
Very well, Kovic. Oh, Harmonizer. Are you going to shuttle across, or would you like to be transported?
figured I'd step onto our transporter pad and beam over to your transporter pad. But I mean,
That can be arranged.
okay,
Do Upantar have transporter technology?
yes.
Yeah, they just go into the cargo bay. Mind the queasiness. Because remember, it's Enterprise era style transporters. They have them. They're just not very
Yeah,
good.
technically it can handle humans, but it's like not rated for it.
Yeah, but we compensate for that on our end, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. I'll actually have this be a roll because it is somewhat control
Yeah.
plus engineering difficulty. Normally would be 2.
As
It's
assume
being
we moved
dumped
into
in the
their zone to do
room.
that.
Yeah,
Increase
you
it by
don't want to
1.
become a teenager that disappears and appears once every 30 years.
Nah. Just wait till Evil Kovic beams over because of the ion storm.
Can you imagine teenage Kovic? I don't know if that'd be better or worse.
Oh,
than
I'm
Evil
sorry.
Kovic.
That number's wrong. I forgot
Oh.
where you are. 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Teenage Kovic was a greaser.
Oh, 100%.
Brain. There we go. Yes.
I guess which is like backwards time traveling. You're a 50s teenager, but you're a 30s adult.
I'll actually note the one of the hazards I was worried about around the homeworld of the In Theory, the beta subsector that you're in. Their home system is within an active ion storm, like a rather large one. This system happens to be outside of it. That's what I was checking. I was like, oh, maybe you have an ion storm. It complicated. No, I was like, okay, you're okay. So it's just
Okay.
control engineering, difficulty 2, assisted by sensors engineering. The Faith will be assisting with as best as it can.
Okay.
Because I imagine the Da Vinci's leading this beam rather than them. Because like, you want to transport over there? No, they're helping. Oh, okay, that makes more
How
sense.
is author not in the chat when we're on a ship called the Faith?
Yeah. By all means, go ahead, Commander Haifa, unless you'd prefer Nidodan to do it.
I guess I could go down there. Sure, I'll go down there.
Teach them how it's done.
That's just if you want to do the character or if you want to do the support. I'm giving you the
No,
option.
Nidodan can definitely do this better than I can. But the Centurion has banished me to the transporter room, so I'm going to
Yeah. Don't worry, he knows you gave the order before there was
Yeah.
approval given.
go down there, look at the console,
Since
take out a
taking away
dope
our
stick,
jobs.
and take a long drag trying to remember how to do this.
Nidodan looking worried for a half second, thinking the fire alarm's gonna go off. Goes, oh right, hologram.
I'll really quickly replicate a pad with the manual for the transporter system.
Transporters for children. Hi everybody, I'm Badgene.
Could you just like, yeah. Could you just like upload that? You know it.
He
Oh
could.
yeah,
He's-
look
I
at
know
me.
Kung
I'm a
Fu.
hologram. Just upload it. Why don't I take this pad and upload it to you?
Someone's touchy.
All right, so okay.
You think you'd be
Control
bright?
engineering
Oh,
district.
all that aside, why not?
Powered on from the wrong side of the
Well,
mobile adapter.
also, I could just become the pad.
for all that
Too
would
much,
help
too
you,
close to the
yes.
great slime. Please don't turn me into the minor slime.
Could become the Great Slime.
A focus in nothing.
I don't think nothing would apply here.
Well, I mean,
I've
technically,
caught
that's
you in a
what we're
trap.
rendering
I will
Kovic
use
down
my
to.
focus in something.
You don't have a something focus. I know your sheet.
All right.
Also, I wouldn't allow that focus. Are you kidding me?
A nothing focus could work if we were
A
trying
nothing
to remove
focus,
Kovic
yeah.
from existence.
Uh-oh.
Are
Well,
we trying to
shit.
remove Kovic from existence? He didn't actually. Oh my god.
It's not a comp, at least.
It's not a comp. It's just a.
I can use a determination. Well, I could have.
You can
Good.
re-roll.
I mean, how determined are you to show Rylova? It's not even showing him up. It's just like, oh, fine, I'll do this. Yeah, smart ass.
No, I'll see how it turns out, and I'll beam the goop that was Kovic on in a minute.
Oh God. Kovic, you're led into the cargo area of the UPN Faith, and there's a little worry among some of the staff, but there's some assurances of, well, the Da Vinci's leading this; it should be fine. As long as you're okay with it, Harmonizer, we can't compel you to go on there, obviously, because they seem to be waiting for you to not say you want to go on the transporter pad, because this seems like a very bad idea to them, but whatever. You seem to be convinced of it, and they
The
seem
Da
to be
Vinci's
convinced of it.
beaming.
Okay, well, and the sequence begins, and you notice, you feel that numbness, that minor numbness one feels when you're about to be transported, because you're somewhat immobilized for a half second or so, as the beam comes back. The room around you phases away, and then you notice, for a brief moment, the smoke-filled haze of Haifa's countenance appear before you, and then that too fades away. You find yourself
That's
back
not good.
on the Faith, and doubled over, heaving whatever you had for lunch, as you take 5 non-lethal damage.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
As Haifa shouts, I'm losing him.
That's an injury.
I'm gonna increase the gain. Try again. I can't lose him.
I mean, you can try again. Would Kovac like to avoid that injury? Or is he going unconscious from the nausea?
I'll have the damage using the ribbon of bravery. Oh.
Holds it in barely.
And then the beaming happens again.
He fails again at that point. It's just deliberate.
If it doesn't work out, I'll promise to use determination this time.
If you don't, I will.
Oh no! Come on, Da Vinci. Now the Faith can actually try to help you.
Oh my god. Okay, the Da Vinci's what? Sensors engineering?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that is all. For some reason, it's red, but it's fine.
I will. Can I use the trait meticulously maintained to quash that complication?
You could, yeah. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 off of 2. You gain 2 as you're able to readjust for the error, and you're able to beam a very queasy Kovac over.
Thralik is possibly also correct that our ship's sensors would lower the difficulty.
Oh, that's true. It does. Yep.
Yep.
Because it would have been repaired. Because any breaches you had would have been repaired by now.
I would hope so.
Haifa takes a look at Kovic and says, "You sure don't make it easy, do you?"
Kovic lights up a cigarette to settle his stomach.
Don't, 'cause that's
Points-
how that works.
Points at Haifa and goes, "You are not qualified to run that machine."
my machine, your that dinky little pad you beamed over is not rated to be a toaster.
What happened? Did you like phase out a little bit there when you were touching the controls? Maybe you ought to have your emitter adjusted.
My emitter is just fine. If your backwards little ship over there wasn't basically falling apart at the seams, nothing would have happened.
Ah,
Spicy.
My emitter. This way. We'll go to the bridge.
Kovic like takes out his FIS scanner and scans Hypha's emitter as we're walking.
I'll go to the replicator, and I'll say one Saurian brandy.
Forms it into being.
I'll hand that to Kovic, and I say, "This is supposed to help nauseousness in humanoids. You should use this."
Kovic will set it back down. The replicator thing is, A, I don't drink. B, that's not real.
See, you're working.
It is real.
Well, it's not alcoholic. He didn't say to override that particular feature. Just has the right.
He doesn't
flavor
know that. Kovic doesn't know that.
I'm from the Federation.
Oh yeah,
profile.
I forget.
Cyrano, you were informed by the UPN Faith that they have arrived at the destination and Harmonizer Kovac has successfully transported to Da Vinci after a brief technical error by the Da Vinci transporter operator.
Seriously, I
That's
think-
not true at all.
Faith? Was that the name of the shuttle he took?
That's the ship.
Yeah.
The Faith is the ship. That
Seriously, I really don't think anybody but you should touch that if Nadodan's around. And I would consider getting that Zinti fella to take a look at that emitter, because I think your head's on backwards.
I'll give you a momentum, GM. I do turn my head around and say there is not a problem with me or the transporter.
Like literally.
Oh, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the transporter system.
Maybe there's a problem with this Ioshan here.
This argument continues into the bridge.
I'm gonna walk the whole way, head on backwards.
Okay.
And Kovic will walk behind him so he can look him in the eye while they're arguing. And he's smoking the entire way too. I don't know if alarms are going off or what. But...
Alarms do go off.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to put that out.
What?
Yep.
For ship safety,
Look.
no uncontrolled fires may be operating at this time. Please extinguish.
It's perfectly controlled, Ash.
That's why you get a vape pen. Come on, Kovic.
Vape. You know what's in those things? No, nobody does.
Exactly.
That's metal in your lungs.
That's a good idea. But yes. You're in system, you're in bridge. The Captain of SARS is so informed of your presence. 2 ships
Yes,
of the Stellar
Captain.
Fleet are in the system.
Their chief engineer just about killed me, but I'm here.
That's a matter of disagreement.
Do I want to ask?
No, he's gonna give you a stuck-up opinion.
My opinion is that you should let the transporter chief run the transporter.
My opinion is you should just get a better ship.
All right. Both opinions noted. Moving on. Helm, take us into orbit of the specified planet and hail the Triumph.
This is the UPN Triumph. Go ahead.
This is the Da Vinci. have there been any further updates, developments, or changes in the brief time it took us to arrive?
It would seem so. I'll have my chief science explain it a bit more thoroughly.
Very well.
Like now? Yes, now. And there. This is your idea. Stand up for what you believe in. Okay. So, hi. I'm our chief science officer, Miglet, and I have well, unfortunately, it seems our estimates were a little inaccurate. We actually only have about 12 hours. It seems there's something accelerating the degradation of the life forms, and I haven't quite narrowed down what it is exactly. It may be the substances that are on their bodies, but it could be something that the environment's doing. It could be our scans that are doing it. I haven't narrowed it down yet.
Is it might be our scans a off-the-wall theory, or is there something you know that would back that one up?
It's a thing that's happened in previous research expeditions. Sometimes life forms react to an active scan sweep. Although ours are rather are tuned a certain way for minimal impact. Some organic or even macro systems can react to energy much as an allergy would to certain foods and light sources.
Understood. I will make sure that science on this end is aware of such possibility, but we will likely need to conduct scans to fully comprehend what we are dealing with. Commander Haifa, about how long will it take to have modifications completed to the Da Vinci to facilitate transport, if that is the course we take?
I assume, TM, those are completed.
By now they are, yeah.
Okay.
Because you started them as you were leaving, so by the time you got here, they would have been done.
Yeah.
Actually, to be more accurate, there's probably like 5 more minutes left, but
So in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Lieutenant Fenn?
Busy on the project.
Right.
Yeah, Ensign Lieutenant Venn, believes that Ensign Mila or any of his other science staff will be more than capable of assisting. He is, although he is primarily supervising the stability of the containment systems and adjusting on the fly if something weird happens. He has a funny feeling something will, but he's not sure yet.
What kind of planet is this? Like, it's rocks and molten lava and stuff?
Yeah, it's a Class E, a geoplastic world.
Mila's specialty is geology and planetary
100%.
Science.
Go for Mila. I just missed that Finn wasn't here anymore, the player. So that was not me trying to throw shade. That was me being like, he's here,
Oh,
right?
no.
He's here, right?
I'll let Sariana get her since Kovic's on board.
Yeah.
If she wants to.
Yes, sorry. I will handle it right now.
Yes.
Do I have feet yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cybernetic
Okay.
ones. Yeah.
Cybernetic feats.
And that is generally conduct a scan of the planet, cooperating with the Triumph to get more or further details specifically from our own sensors, with some wariness as to, or caution as to, if sensors might be accelerating this issue.
All right.
Which is just a caution because that's how Rylov is. It was an issue that was brought up, and now he's thinking about it, so...
Reads in medicine,
Hey.
difficulty 2, assisted by sensors medicine.
Does Xenite in the Soul apply? Because this is related to geology, mining, or mine equipment.
Yeah, actually.
All right.
That's the one time that's ever going to come up.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay, so that's Civ 3. 3 dice.
Yeah.
Now does that make the next dice cost 4, or does it still cost 1?
It costs more
2.
because
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it costs 2. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I'll spend. It's a 13. Focus in geology, I assume, applies.
Yes.
Might as well go safe. Like, do the extra die.
Yeah, I'll spend the 2 momentum.
Oh right, I need to roll for the UPN. The UPN.
Yep. And I'll get
or the triumph, I
sheet
should.
here real quick.
I'll note that the Faith is doing a patrol pattern. They're sticking around, but they're trying not to get in the way because they're not briefed on what's going on. They just came here like, we're here. We'll just watch your back, I guess.
Yeah. Finchy does not help.
Why do you keep going red?
Yeah, I was about to say, neither of those are actually complications. So, thankfully.
So 1, 3, 4, 5. Off of 2 generates 3. I see an actual comp on the board, but you re-rolled it, so it doesn't exist.
I did not re-roll it.
Oh, you did not roll?
That's the ship.
My bad.
We have 3. Sure, comps are interesting. Let's see what the comp is.
Scanning their biology, it looks like that these creatures have rather volatile chemicals, synthetic chemicals, in containers that are within the structures that are on their bodies, which so far have not. In those structures, they are shielded. And even though they've been diving in and out of the molten lava, the molten rock, they haven't been exposed or detonated in any such way. However, it is believed that in the beaming process, there is a possibility that these may detonate as part of that. There's a possibility they'll detonate. Basically, you're at a comp 5 when beaming because it's possible that the beaming may cause a premature reaction if it's sequenced out of order. But I will answer
any
to.
Beaming is highly likely to kill them. Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason why. But I will say that the thing that they thought was worried about, that their scans were somehow the reason why they're being sick, you verified that's not what's happening. It would seem that whatever these volatile synthetic chemicals are the likely source.
All right. Does anyone have any questions they think we should ask? Okay, here's one. Is there any way I know of counteracting this? Any beaming process or anything we can do to them or modify to change this?
Well, that's that for a momentum. There are two ways I can think of that could, well, 3. So one way, although it'd be labor intensive, would require a away team to be beamed into each location while they surface and then get into the structure and then neutralize the chemical in some fashion on site, and then once it re-emerges from the rock, beam the whole creature and the away team back onto the ship. But you'd have to do that for each creature. Not all creatures have it, but a lot of them do. So that's one way. A second way is to beam a neutralizing gas or chemical into the structures. Since these structures do seem to be solid, it does seem like you could, in theory, fill these areas with something while they surface, and then that would neutralize it. But that's presuming that may or the catch with that is you don't know what the container is. You don't have a good idea of that. But that may be enough to neutralize any the explosion. A third thing is to literally tractor beam these things as many as you can up into the keep when they jump out, you hold them away from the rock and from the planet, and then you can then more in a more detailed fashion do it. The problem with that is that it's very power intensive to have a tractor beam on that many life forms for an extended period of time. Those are the 3 ways you possibly could do it. Of course, the 4th option is you roll the gamble and hope the transporter chief just doesn't set off the explosions. But you asked me for ways other than that.
Okay, I will relay all of this information to the crew. Any other questions anyone would like to be asked?
So it was specifying that it's whatever's on their back is what's causing the creature's degradation potentially as well, or did I misunderstand that?
That's that is one of the most likely things doing it, because it's the one thing that's new, or is likely to be new, I should say.
Does these were what they were talking about earlier when they said that there was something down there that didn't appear to be
Native.
Yeah, right?
Because they're not sentient, but they somehow have backpacks, yeah.
Okay.
It
And
is
not all of
somehow
them have it.
Not all of them do, so that should actually make it a fairly easy or simpler process to confirm if that is what's causing degradation or not, because we have healthy ones without
can
the
we
backpacks to
compare
confirm.
ones that don't have it and see their relative health outcomes? That's more of a medicine question, and
What was a
I don't
medicine
have
roll?
a very good medicine.
What was a medicine roll? You could spend a momentum to ask that question.
All right, I'll go for it.
So what was the question again? Just to make sure I'm answering the right one.
Relative health outcomes between the ones that do have backpacks and the ones that don't have backpacks in regards to determining if the backpacks are a cause in this degradation or not.
They're the most likely one. Because, the ones that have them are sick, as best you can tell. The ones that don't, and because so many of them have that contaminant, if they all died, then the remainder would not be enough, are likely to not be enough to sustain the species on the long term. It's have extinction. It wouldn't be an absolute extinction, but they'd be to the brink of extinction within the next generational cycle or two.
Okay. So even if we remove the backpacks, the problem does not go away.
Well, is that what he said?
That's what okay, maybe I misunderstood him. Could you repeat?
That'd be a momentum. That's actually a different question.
Oh no.
Also, that was a sensor roll, so I think the difficulty was 1 less than it was from the ship, right?
Well, that's true.
Yep. So we have an extra momentum.
It's true.
Okay, then I'll ask that question.
They would still be sick and would require medical attention afterward, to ensure that they are to check for any lasting effects. It's possible that removal of the contaminant would be enough on its own because their biology may be enough to survive in its absence, but it may require follow-up medical attendance to ensure that they recover.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. I leave it up to the captain then.
All right. Triumph. I'm guessing you have the same information that I do now through talking with our science officer to yours.
We have it, yeah.
Oh, actually, do we have any origin on the backpacks? Any technology markers for any known technology markers? Could be a question.
Not with medicine. You'd need a new
Not with
roll.
medicine. Okay. I mean, worth trying to find out. I'm guessing we probably don't have any neutralizing gas available. We could quickly synthesize some. Commander Haifa, what do you think the odds are of going down, or would you prefer the odds of going down there with teams and potentially finding more out about what these structures are in the first place? Or do you deem that to be too risky to your engineering teams?
Um,
Well, if he's not running the transporter, I don't see what the risk would really be. Kovic says under his breath.
GM, the information gathered so far is it suggests that there's not really any chance other than being extremely careful on the transporting, or is there a possibility that a new solution could be developed?
Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
Is it a known problem that so there's difficulty in beaming them because of the chemical, right?
Or complication?
A raised complication, basically a comp 5 automatic because of it.
Okay.
I'll also
But-
add that there's the potential that we don't have to relocate them if the backpack problem can be solved. So we wouldn't need to beam them onto the ship anyway.
It'd be better to remove that up here, wouldn't it?
This is Triumph to the Da Vinci. I think we have a slight issue. I'm noticing that there is some weakening in the structure around these those chemicals that we detected. They've migrated into an area I imagine these creatures are attempting to pull those things off of themselves by exposing them to the more intense temperatures in certain parts of the planet. Unfortunately, that is about to shear them off and expose them to even more of the substance, if not causing a aggressive reaction by them.
Right. I acknowledge Triumph. Between your engineers or a gas, which do you believe to be the quicker option? Commander Haifa, Ensign Mila.
I mean, so the approach that I want to take is developing a beaming solution to just retrieve the irritant.
Okay, so you want to beam just the bags.
Yes.
Bearing in mind, those are the explosive devices, and what Rylov's hesitation is they're exploding, because if we beam them to the ship and they explode on the ship, that is damage.
We don't
the
have to
vessel
beam
as
them
well.
onto the ship.
Okay.
We just beam them into space.
If you believe you can localize it enough that you can get just the backpacks, by all means, do that.
Seems like the safest option.
At the same time, if that seems to be unfeasible, I want you looking into that direction, Haifa. Ensign Mila, I want you looking, or contact medical if that would be the more necessary thing to get a counteragent gas. So we've got
Kovic
two options
says-
provided to us.
Yes, I will contact with Dr. Temena immediately. And she will go off to go plan that with Dr. Temena.
Kovic says, if possible, wouldn't mind having one of the containers, at least, whether it's got the stuff in it or not. Stuff in it might actually be better. If this is an attempt to wipe out the species for some reason.
Evidence.
Right.
Yes.
And maybe clues.
Okay. Sounds like we have two directions to go. We'll find out what one. Oh, well. Gas is probably going to be faster to figure out. We have a limited amount of time, though, Haifa, so as fast as you can.
Sure.
Which is just the gas is a backup plan. That's what the intention is for that. Just if I wasn't making that clear. I like Haifa's plan. but we can use Mila as a backup if we need to.
Reason engineering difficulty 3, assisted by computers engineering to assemble an appropriate beaming solution to target, I believe, just the irritants, as you say.
Yes. The devices on their backs.
All right. Use the bonus, the main engineering bonus, to drag that down.
As you head down to main engineering to start planning this out.
Since there's a time limit, calm under pressure.
I would say so.
And because I'm using an engineering team, I'll my role ability project manager.
I'll take that, yeah.
All right.
Also, it seems very much like that exception to the Prime Directive would apply anyway. But it's nice to have Kovic here as a like extra assurance.
Mm.
There's 2 different exceptions. Get off my ass.
Because this is designing the simulation and not the actual beaming computers.
Yeah.
You want the ship doing
Computers engineers.
computers. Okay.
Engineering.
Yep. I see what you mentioned,
And
but-
that week in dry dock, did we get rid of the breaches?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 2 on a diff 0.
You have a. In essence, you kind of would be able to create the initial part of the beaming would be creating a. When you beam something, you kind of have to confine whatever it is you're beaming, so you're not actively beaming stuff around it. You're just increasing that aspect of it, so that way if something happens, it won't go beyond the beam lock. So as long as you maintain the beaming lock, it will, even if it does explode, it might explode into the beaming. You'll just beam the explosion as it's happening. Normally, you don't do that. You normally don't want to beam an explosion into your ship, but you're, not beaming it into your ship, into space, so you find a way to kind of get the transporters to do that without it giving you extra trouble. But also trying to contain it anyway, so it doesn't, it's less volatile that way.
All right. 2 momentum. That there's an for an advantage that there's an algorithm that as we're beaming through these will like analyze and pick one that's suitably inert to beam into containment on the ship.
You can put that into the program sequence, yeah.
All right. Then I'll head down to cargo transporters.
Are you doing this yourself?
No need. I'm going to bring along Nadoden and Click.
So, let me double check some things. That is 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. Because neither of those have constant presence, do they?
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
Click doesn't.
Yeah, and Nadoden doesn't because he's brand new, so that is 3 out of the 5. I'm just keeping track of crew support.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you wish to resolve the Tamina Mila project?
Yeah. It'd be nice to just make sure we've got the gas. Plus, it might still come in useful if, I mean, we're looking for a neutralizing agent to what's causing the problem in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So, if that exists and we still need
someone
to
wants-
neutralize what's affecting them once the devices are gone from their backs, it could be a good place to work from in the first place. That makes sense.
Yeah, if someone wants to roll for Tamina, I could assist with.
Kovic?
Sure.
Control medicine difficulty 3, assisted by computers medicine.
What am I doing to give me an idea if she has a focus or not?
Neutralizing agent for the chemicals. Killing the
Advanced
creatures.
medical research.
Yeah.
Roll medicine difficulty 3. We have no momentum for cautious. I'll shoot for trait of attentive.
Yeah. As Mila starts laying this out and showing you all the things, Tamina's being
Right.
very paying attention to every little detail because it might come up, and it does later in the research.
Fair enough. Okay, that brings it down to diff 2. She's just going to roll flat because of the ship, and she's getting an assist from Mila, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Just has to hit at all,
Yeah.
please.
Um,
So
and
she
I
makes
make
it.
an argument that my role is a science-based role if I'm targeting it more from a chemical point of view as opposed to a medical point of view.
I could see the argument there. Yeah.
Okay.
The Da Vinci
A
likes
focus in
chemicals.
genetics because this is partially about how it affects their genetics,
Yeah.
right? Oh, you asked for control, but it wouldn't matter because I failed anyways.
2, 3, 4 off of a 2, I believe.
Yep.
Gain 2. You were able to synthesize a gas that is most likely, I imagine Tamina would point out, with great probability able to neutralize. But you cannot possibly 100% guarantee it because that would require a longer research period. But given the information you have, it should
Or
work.
best. Yep. I'm assuming Rylov gets reports of both of those things at roughly same times.
Presuming they reported in, yeah.
Presuming.
Well, yeah. The Tamina will report it in with the all of the caveats.
Thank you, Doctor. If you have the time, please look into the potential applications of how that would be used to affect the creatures on their home planet, if that might be necessary in the future, or if that becomes necessary in the future.
Deploying
Or
the
if that
gas
would
on the planet.
require a
Okay.
different subject. Yes.
Yes, Centurion.
That's the It sounds bad when you say, yes, Centurion, deploying a gas on a planet. It sounds way worse than it actually is.
For 2 momentum,
I wasn't going to point it out, but we are gassing them for the right reasons.
that sounds worse. For 2 momentum,
You're really going down this fascist route, aren't you?
For 2 momentum, for all that is good in the world, you can, in fact, have that without a roll so set, because Tamina may have already had some pre-calculations on the subject. However, if you wish to roll for it, it is a control medicine difficulty 2 to achieve. Using computer's medicine, if you wish to roll it. But you can guarantee get it if you just spend 2.
At your discretion, Kovic.
Let's do a roll. We've got momentum on the table, so she can use control medicine for a reroll. For medicine for reroll, and the roll is control medicine.
That'd be correct.
Advanced medical research again.
Yep.
Okay, so take a momentum for a third die and a reroll. For cautious medicine. I'll reroll 1. 3. 4.
Extra 1.
Is Mila assisting with this?
Can I?
Can if you like.
I'm making the same role with science instead of medicine on the same grounds.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. I helped.
We're 5 on a 2, as a
That seems very much worth it to make extra momentum for Haifa.
Yep.
Yeah, you basically are trying. You basically expand the scope of the gas, where it's like the initial brief was in an enclosed area within all that sort of thing, as opposed to no, now how to distribute it in an atmosphere on a Class E world in such a way that it'll linger there for a certain while without side effects. Like, oh well, that's a different thing entirely. I have to recalculate. Yeah, okay, we can do it.
This is. It is, but you are now 2 different backup plans at once. Congratulations. Redundancies.
Sensors report that some of the structures have ruptured and various creatures sink below into the rock and do not reemerge.
Commander Haifa, are you ready to begin your beaming?
On your command.
Engage the beaming operation, please.
Firing torpedoes.
Yep.
Oh, this is one of them Cisco things.
We're beaming the torpedoes down there into the structures to make sure they detonate violently.
Quantum
like
torpedoes
Worf,
too somehow.
I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to follow orders.
Oh god, that episode always irked me. But anyway.
Yeah, no, they just did war crimes and were like, it's okay because the Cardassians did it.
I'm like, I want you demoted for that. Come on, what? At least.
They were
Alright.
just my key. And, it was just
Look.
Gaza. I mean, that planet.
Oh god almighty.
The lesson is
Look,
rebellion
look,
must be
Look,
punished.
if the Maquis wanted the human rights respected as if they were citizens of the Federation, why did they leave the Federation?
You are going total fascist on us.
No,
Japanese
I mean,
rebels?
well, it is kind of a joke because they didn't leave the Federation. The Federation left them.
Well, look, that's really
Like, that's the whole problem.
It's really,
Hmm. No, go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Explain
here's
to
a
me
new
how
trouble,
it's
actually.
never the
Keep
state's
digging.
problem.
Yeah.
Look,
Do you want an excavator, in fact, instead of a shovel?
yes, please, thank you. We'll get to the end of this process quicker.
Oh my god. Still comp 5, let's go.
And it is brought down to diff 4 because of the sensor talent that your ship has.
Amazing.
Though the complication here is that you may just cause it may cause a detonation in a way you didn't anticipate, or may damage your systems, but you're not at risk of like blowing up your ship because you're doing a very different method, and you've minimized how much exposure they likely have. You might cause some other effect.
Do we have a directive?
Oh, I didn't call out for them. That's my bad. But Sayrana effectively gave you some directives on this line, so there would be a directive of save the rock whales.
So we're doing a Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole episode's been a Star Trek 4. We're even putting them in the Hainer Bay.
Right.
Yep.
Got to rename the ship the Sea Shepherd, Space Shepherd.
You mean the Normandy? Sorry.
We didn't get to steal a nuclear reactor and get shot in the process, though.
You have time.
Do you wish to lead or do you wish Nidodin to lead?
I mean, the UPN vessels are basically the same technological era as the 80s Enterprise. No, I'll leave because I got to spend a bunch of resources.
Lovely.
Trait calm under pressure.
Yep. Do you want that on comp or diff?
Diff. And Um. Trait of meticulously maintained.
Yeah. Comparative.
I think that would make just to me that would make more sense as comp. All right, I'll spend determination on the directive. Do either Click or Nadoden need their engineering upped to 5?
No, Nadoden doesn't.
Just Click.
No,
Alright.
he still has 4.
So we would get value out of spending 1 momentum to get you to 5.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll spend it.
How much again for momentum?
It's just 1 to
1.
activate collaboration engineering.
Roger.
Does high.
Oh, then I'm yes, I will spend additional ones. That was just to get Click to engineering 5. I don't have a focus, so
Yeah, that was meaning the Click doesn't get a focus that's relevant. If you
no,
already have one.
I don't have to have a focus for that to work.
Yeah.
And then I'll spend 1 more for a 3rd dice.
And you do want the other 2 assisting?
Yep.
At least 1 comp so far.
Just the 1.
Why did that roll control command? I have engineering properly. Pilot.
I think maybe you selected commands just because it was at 5 and his engineering got raised. No,
So
his
yeah,
command
what
wouldn't
you
be a
rolled
5
is
anyway. There's no
correct.
way his commands are 5.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I
that's
just realized that after I said it. I'll roll the ship here as well.
Yep, the
sure
sheet
you don't
chat.
have COVID click?
I know, it's click sheet. I mean,
I don't know.
and Kovic that doesn't have a command of 5 either.
Nope, the ship is fine. The ship held.
5. The
Yeah.
target was 3. You generate 2,
Which I'll spend to quash.
which is spent to quash. You are able to beam up the various volatile materials out of the structures into open space in a stable just away from the planet. 'Cause I imagine you're not beaming it into any sort of orbit, so it falls back into the planet, just out
No.
in a way.
Yeah.
Because close range is huge. Close range is like from here to the moon.
Yeah, I'll note that if Starfleet exists in 2.6 billion years, that we have an obligation to come check that these haven't retrograded into the planet yet.
Yeah.
But until then,
We'll probably do secondary movements of them, but yeah.
And you're able to pluck one away that seems relatively inert into your to your cargo bay transporter.
yeah, I'll alert security. There's an unsecured explosive, and to coordinate with Harmonizer Kovic to retrieve it as evidence and make sure that it's inert.
A plume of mist erupts from the container.
From what container?
From the container that's on the transporter pad.
I thought you were beaming it into containment.
It's beaming it into a cargo bay.
Ah,
I guess presumably the cargo bay that we're transporting in and out of, because we're not in the transporter room. We're in the cargo transporter.
It's probably the cargo transporter pad is where it's at.
So like they're okay. So I assume that it's not an energy based containment. It's not like a force field. We have like some kind of box.
can
Transparent aluminum sort of thing, yeah.
Okay. Then I will try to elect erect a, I think level 5 is the highest. Level 5 force field.
Control plus security. Difficulty 2, assisted by structure. Plus security. Because it's the internal shield system.
Either Click or Nadoden have a 4?
In what?
Security.
Click's got a 3.
Okay, I get it.
Nadoden has a 2.
Do you have anything in shields or
I got fortifications.
would you accept fortifications as a focus, GM?
Yeah.
All right, then Haifa, knowing their team better, will say Specialist Click, level 5 force field now.
Oh, okie dokie.
That's the most chill response I've ever heard Click do.
Yeah, normally it's protect
where was
the
the
hive.
protect
This
the
one's-
hive?
He's
Because-
chilled out after losing his eyes.
I mean,
Right.
yeah.
You see him smoking.
Spreading to the engineering staff. So I will, just in case, I will spend determination on the value. Protect the hive.
Yes.
Okay. It's diff 2, so take 1 and 1 for bold. Why not?
He has bold security.
Ah.
Oh, sorry, it's bold engineering. Never mind. Just take 1 and 1 for
For
the
giggles.
extra die. So that's 4, 6.
He has protected the hive well. The hive protects him too if the ship rolling a 2 is anything to go by.
Right.
If you protect the hive will protect you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Force field erected, sir. The ship is safe.
I need to know why the containment failed. So I will start running a scan.
Give me reason. Engineering, difficulty of 2. Assisted by sensors engineering, brings it down to 1.
Is the gas still trapped in whatever?
The gas. The synthetic material seems to be transforming in some fashion. That's the mist that's occurring. You're just not sure
Okay.
what the reaction is yet.
I recommend we get a science team down here immediately, sir.
Arrange it. I'm making
Click to
this-
bridge. We need a science team in the cargo bay 12. ASAP.
Understood.
A focus in computer.
Like as you say that, you see like Mila like get up from her chair, and her chair kind of spins backwards as she runs over to the turbo lift.
And then she kind of kicks back a little bit. The wheels pop out of her feet, and she.
I think holographic feet would be better. Just like turn around, turn the feet on, start running.
Yeah,
But only
that's
every now
because
and then.
That's part of like step 1 of 100 if you're planning to make all of us holograms.
Take a threat.
Certainly.
Plus Heelys are fun.
Yeah, Heelys.
And that was the majority opinion of everyone in the 4th grade.
I don't think that's
They
the
were-
thing though.
They were right up there with Beyblade.
Sensors plus engineering, please. Oh, good golly.
Are we showing our age?
Good golly.
Look, it's not even like a question of coolness, but of practicality. Sure, you don't go faster than running, but you conserve more energy. So, like on the long run, who's winning here?
I just want to see Cam Force rolling around on Heelys. Anyway, Generate 2. According to scans, it seems the volatile chemical is transmogrifying from a sort of chemical gaseous state into a solid form, which is expanding in such a way as to compromise the container.
Is it likely to damage or is it likely to outstress the force field?
For a momentum, I'll answer.
Yep.
No. It'll stress the container's going to breach, but it doesn't seem like it. Whatever it is going to solidify into something within the field.
All right. Can I dematerialize the container as to not interrupt the process?
Oh, couldn't you alter the environmental parameters inside that area just so it's whatever's on the planet? That prevented?
Can I do both?
You can, yeah. Control engineering difficulty 2, assisted by structure plus engineering. As Ensamila runs into the room along with the security detail.
Still with the computers?
Oh, so much running. Okay, what do you need me for?
Does that computer still work, GM?
Yes.
Take a moment.
The compound inside of the container we beamed up is not only breaching, but also appears to be transforming into some sort of solid.
Would you like Nidodin's help with that, Hypa?
Sure.
We wanted to get an analysis done as quickly as possible.
This is why
Out
he's
of
got
character, is that what Hypa is doing?
Yeah, I was trying to fix that.
Well, okay. Just let me catch my breath, but I'm here if you need me.
So you remove the container as part of the beam, and you also flood the chamber with the conditions that were on the planet. Is that correct?
That was what Nidodin was suggesting, yeah.
Now, do you mean the conditions of like the molten rock itself or the atmosphere? The open atmosphere?
Atmosphere was my thinking, so probably going with that unless Haifa had a different idea as the one implementing it.
Yeah, because it was inert, right, in the atmosphere is the rock that was causing things to get worse.
Yeah, that was
they were jumping down. So yes.
The chamber floods with a red haze. The energy field sizzles from the containment, but it's a high level enough containment that it can maintain a classy environment. And within the cloud emerges a silvery, almost mercurial skinned creature, humanoid in shape. Eventually its form coalesces some facsimile of clothing that seems to mimic what you guys are wearing, but it's not the same coloration. It's various shades of gray and black. And then some sort of head covering kind of appears over its head that none of you are wearing, I would presume.
I call up to the bridge and I say, Centurion, you're needed immediately. Kovic as well. And then I want to try to transmit into here on all known modes of communication that we're the Federation, we're not here to harm you, we're trying to stabilize the situation. Please do not be alarmed.
Presence command difficulty of I'll up it to 3.
And I imagine Rylov just like looks at Kovic and they're both going like,
Yeah.
I've got no idea what's going on, like, but we're asked for, so.
Cultural studies.
Yep.
Calm under pressure.
Yeah,
Take a threat.
certainly.
All right. Let me see what I got on determination because I'm still one short. What did we do in amidst the fires forged in war?
That was one before the shutdown.
Did
But
we
you were
do
in
any-
the system.
Oh, I tried to communicate with people we didn't know in that episode. Because that was trying to communicate with that thing on the planet that didn't want to be communicated with.
Ha! I'll take it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Spent on always doing firsts. Because I think this is a first contact.
Yeah, I'll take that. You're a reroll.
I was just going to declare that I got it. So yeah, whatever.
Generate 1. Oh, calm under pressure, though.
Hold on. I'm just catching up here. Does this mean I just murdered 99.99% of this person's species?
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Who knows? They might be able to survive.
Hold on. Can I emergency, realizing this, emergency beam them back in to here?
Start trying to recover things.
Yeah,
if
start trying to
possible,
recover them.
yeah.
Daring engineering difficulty of... it won't be 5 against they're out in open space, but I will keep it somewhat high. Difficulty of 3. I have 2. Difficulty 4. Assisted by sensors plus engineering, which brings it down to 3 anyway.
I doubt it.
Yeah, you want him to do this one instead?
Yeah. I'll assist you, but yeah.
Alright, trade of lucky, question mark.
I'll say so, yeah.
They all just have to be close by.
Yeah, well, you know, lucky in maybe some other ways, who knows. It's a diff 2. Do I want to do that?
Only if you're not a chicken.
Okay, have 2 threat. It's a difficulty 0.
You can still roll calm.
Yeah, I can. I'll give you 1 more just for that.
You roll all zeros. I mean, that wouldn't matter because it's diff 0,
Yeah.
but still.
Look, not all zeros.
There you go. Gain
The
4.
reason that is, it's the transporter chief talent.
Ah.
Is the take 2 threat difficulty goes down by 2.
Can we get Click to assist as part of this to like expand the containment?
Sure.
I'll take 2 momentum for that, actually.
Sure. This is, yeah, Click, we need more space.
The being is unable to move properly. The hive is better protected.
No. Increase the space, not restrict the space.
No. Sorry.
Click's been listening to Serrano's speeches too much.
Yeah, really.
Look, we just need some more living room, okay? Just a little bit more.
Like, everyone's going to assume what's happening with Serrana is because of Rylov's influence, and it isn't.
Isn't this the mean ant from Bewitched?
I will have to tell you no.
Clicks like I've seen this one.
I really wanted you to be right because that was like an insane thing to pick up so quickly.
It is Aunt Clara! We must destroy her!
As you all come into the room, and the various forms have a similar reaction when brought into the ship and put into the containment chambers. They form into beings. The one closest to you forms first, obviously, and you broadcast a bunch through the intercom system a variety of languages and some flickering of lights. Some olfactory sense and so on. Just everything. A broadband, we are friendly, we are not harmful sort of thing. The generic UFP friendly signal, as it were. And within the chamber, this figure, its eyes open, and the eyes seem to emit a faint luminescence. Rather than the black irises that you may expect from a humanoid. It looks about the chamber where the various other forms are coming into being. And it extends its hand to its side. And you notice that various parts of its mercurial being seem to flow into the palm of its hand, and in its hand appears a rather large-looking bladed instrument. But it seems to rest the butt of this large object to the ground, almost like a walking stick, and to the only person it would jump to mind for Kovic is that many of you see this as some sort of strange weapon that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, but to Kovic you recognize it as a scythe, a very Earthian weapon, although in a very fantastical sense, as war scythes are a lot more straighter than what is being depicted by this creature. But the image jumps to mind. You know, you would have the name for it. Everyone else in the room wouldn't exactly. It's a bladed instrument.
But it's like one of those big ones, like the depictions of death carry kind of thing. Okay.
That's why I would jump to Kovic's mind.
Well, that's not at all reassuring.
If you are not a threat to us, it says in Federation Standard, actually. If you are not a threat to us, then explain why you have captured us, or everyone on this vessel shall perish.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your activity on the planet was harming the indigenous species, as this planet is in an area claimed by a member of the Free Information Sphere. We demand an explanation and require you to cease and desist activities harming environment and fauna, for lack of a better word, under our protection.
And Ralph will just add, if you refer to the force fields presently around your persons, I believe that is to contain an environment which is assumed to be viable for you.
You notice the various other figures in the room also materialize a variety of bladed weapons. But they all seem to be looking at this conversation. They're waiting to see how it turns out.
That's just the adding on to Kovic's thing of like, this isn't meant to contain, or not to contain them, is what he's getting at. Hopefully. Because I'm guessing the red atmosphere is fairly obvious what that is. As well as the fact he was on the bridge when it was done, so.
President's Command, difficulty of 4 to calm this rather irritated life form.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I'm guessing you want to lead that and I'm assisting you.
Sure.
I mean, from the Met order we spoke, that's how it would be, but I can lead if you
Yeah. Okay. Interview techniques for focus. Let's start there.
No.
Hoping that interview would become calmer. Intuitive. I've kind of read enough body language or whatever that maybe, somehow I kind of intuit the tone and everything I might need to take here.
Yeah?
Don't think any of my other dealies help, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, Rylov is probably better at this role than I am, but...
Oh, no, you'd be surprised. I mean, he's going
Okay.
to come on to 4, I guess. Is that better than you?
Oh, yes. My command is, 3, yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your
Probably
presence?
9.
Yeah, me too. So,
Much
okay,
similar
let's
than
see if
you.
I can find a determination. I think I'll have to spend towards directive, which I'm assuming is Syriana's, save these people and find out what's going on.
I do believe this falls under the find out what's going on aspect.
Yeah.
Okay,
What do you mean there was another life form living on that life form in the weird backpacks in a parasitic sort of fashion
Right. So,
that is now manifesting scythes?
You got
This
2.
is
Oh,
some sort of like weird, like parasitism, vampirism thing going on, right? Like they're sucking blood or life force or something out of the native inhabitants to live in them.
I'm just going to assume these are some cousins of
I mean, they are
Trailblazers.
kind of white, so probably.
They're cousins of Trailblazers.
So yeah, and then take 2 momentum for the third die on top of the termination spend, and then Rylov will assist.
Yep. Look at that.
That's not great. That's 3.
You hit it at
Okay.
least.
Why'd you put so much more pressure on my assist? God.
Well, we've got it. It was
we
diff
do.
3, so
Never
yeah.
mind. Okay.
I know how Kovic rolls in a pinch. I spit the determination.
I could see argument for the focus of precautions, given that's what his addition was explaining that what that is a precaution taken for their survival as well as
I'll take it as an assist, yeah.
for an assist. That was why that would even work.
Yeah.
Apparently, I rolled a 20. So, you're welcome.
Great.
Would you like to quash
Wait a
this?
second. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm pretty
wait.
sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can. No, actually, I can't. I don't have that metal. Or I do. I just used it already.
Yeah.
I can't use metal to do it.
Then yeah, let's quash that. Let's
Let's not
oil on these
complicate
troubled
the
waters.
scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I tried. Bad luck.
You stand within the confines of the Celestial Empire. You are in our home. Whatever laws you believe we violated, if we have done so, I will allow you to explain it in more detail in less militant circumstances. As they poke
We-
at the force field and then drag their blade across it and then withdraw it.
We will be happy to receive a diplomatic envoy or delegation at our primary diplomatic station of Halanak. We can provide you with the coordinates. I'm assuming since you understand Federation standard, you can also understand the coordinate system widely used by the Federation.
We will require your conveyance, as you have stripped us of our vehicles.
Fair enough. Do we have an understanding that there'll be no slicey Death Note kind of activity taking place on your part?
If that's how he says it, I was just going to look at Kobe like, what does that even mean?
He's
Oh, no.
Ioshin. He's all sorts about popular culture.
Iotians are going weeb. No,
So slight eyebrow raise of what?
Yeah,
to
but like
say?
hipster weeb. That's like if you were getting really into like ancient Mesopotamian poetry. It's like they are interested in Japanese culture, but only the few scant records we have from before the Third World War.
Right.
so long as you do not violate the sanctity of the guardians of the celestial sphere, we will not render your meat from your bones.
Well, we will undertake to do that, and it might be worth bearing in mind that rendering might not be quite as easy as you assume, but that's neither here nor there, hopefully.
One can always hope,
Uh,
for that is all one has.
Centurion Rylov, I believe that we can, with at least preliminary diplomacy established, we can lower the force fields for these people.
No. Because that would kill us.
Yeah, no,
Well-
do you require the atmosphere being contained within the force fields, or can that be dissipated?
We have no requirement of atmosphere.
Very well.
All right. I will begin decon.
Well,
Activate
probably
the ventilation hoods.
still in containment. Yeah, you're able to.
Oh no, that's what I meant. There, these silver things, they're contaminants, right? So decon. We're gonna. No,
Not.
I'm saying-
Like, we're
Sorry,
back to the
my-
gassing jokes with that.
my inner Strana kicked in. Give me a second.
But with this, you get as you're doing this, you get a report from the bridge and a follow-up by the Triumph that it seems the creatures on the planet are rapidly recovering from whatever contaminant you're able to remove from them. And the Triumph sends its congratulations on a mission achieved. Although you now have a whole new problem you'll be carrying back to Halanak Station.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to the Triumph on that one, on that particular Triumph.
We're entering our militant vegan stage where we arrest people for eating animals. Because that's what we did today.
No, I mean, we didn't arrest them at all.
To be fair, the FIS...
No, this counts as an arrest.
So, some of the FIS's strictest laws have to deal with environmental protection.
They are
I
by
feel
no
like the
means under
important
arrest on
thing
a
to
surfing
note
vessel.
here, the important thing to note here is that they were not simply just raising livestock to slaughter, which is its own debate, but they were specifically ensnaring and parasitizing an entire species to the point where their outright continued survival was at threat. That's, a little bit beyond, a cattle ranch.
Oh yes, the animals are fine, but people enslave them, Cyrana.
No, wait.
And with those very enlightened words, we shall tell all of you we shall say thank you all very much for watching, and for those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And what these strange creatures and how the debate on precisely what they have done and how they are to fit within the FIS will remain to be seen next time. Have a good one, everyone.
You've done this to yourself.
No, I didn't. It's. I've gone full Hitler because also Hitler was famously pro-animal rights,
Yes,
despite
he was a
being Hitler. He sure was.
Yep. Which, just lends itself to the fact that Vedants are generally insufferable people.